Hey everybody, forgive the noise in the background. We're watching Andy Griffith's show. I don't know how long this live stream's going to be. Just wanted to take the time to say that an acquaintance in the building named Darell. It's his birthday today, and yesterday was Jim Morrison's birthday. So that's what I mean by Jimmy and Daryl's birthday. For those of you that don't know it, I'm a big Jim Morrison fan. That's just my cat's tail flicking in front of the camera. You can't really see the blue. I mean, I don't know how well you can see it, but it turned out a nice shade. And I don't know if it's completely dry. It's still, some of it feels damp, but I like it. You know, it doesn't have to be bright and everything. I just wanted to get the stuff used because it's just been sitting there so long, and wanted to see what it would do in my hair. And I see some light green tint. I kind of like it. But I just didn't feel like doing my hair in red for like Christmas or something. So, but I'm going to have a live stream about the tree that I'm decorating downstairs, or decorated, except for I'm going to have to probably work on the garland tonight. And it's a small tabletop tree. So I'm just going to do like a chain of the black and gold yarn. It's black with like gold, like glitter bits in it or something. I thought would be pretty. And I'm going to make it to put on the tree tomorrow when she's at work. And once I get that on there, I've got a couple of small ornaments here that I want to put on the tree and hang, but I don't want them to be too big because then it'll just it won't look right. Because I got some full-size bulbs and stuff that a lot of people would use. Hello, somebody's on, or was, and then they jump back off. I apologize if somebody's trying to get on, but it's, the weather on that end could be bad. The weather on this end could be not so great. It could be messing with the tower that we get our internet signal from. So I apologize for anybody that's trying to get on but can't. So me and my sister Maria were just sitting around, and Chris today. Whoops, and I'm spilling stuff again. And we're just kind of, hanging out, doing the normal stuff that we sometimes do as neighbors and all. Yeah, he was killing things, so he's always happy when he's killing things on his game that he likes to play. But I did a bunch of last-minute gifts. It was the resin pieces that I just wasn't able to make enough of them. I didn't think that would make it plausible to try and sell them, because I couldn't keep myself supplied with the resin needed to make the two big resin kits I have now, that are the ones that are $20 a piece. You get, I think it's 6 little I forget what they call them. I call them little eye hole things that you screw into the pendants, so you can wear it as a necklace if you want. I'm going to think about maybe wire wrapping some of those or something, and see if I can maybe hang some of those on the tree to fill some of the empty spots in. Because we didn't have, we had 2 of the, I forget exactly how many came in the package. It was about that big. They were clear plastic. No one's on yet. And one set was blue bulbs. The other set was white bulbs. But I purposely said get small ones, because 1, they're going to have the least amount of weight. 2, they're going to be the easiest to decorate with. And it's a small, and it saves on electric and everything. Because the lights come on the tree. So if you want to plug the tree in at night, you can. So I decorated it tonight in honor of Darell and Jimmy's birthday. And so we're sitting here, chewing the fat, as it were, and get a knock on the door. I know Daryl's knock. He's got a very specific knock. And Maria was already here, so we know it wasn't her. And I just kind of laughed and chuckled a little bit and said, aha, yeah, it's Darell. And then Maria's like, how do you know that? I said, I know his knock. She's like, okay. And then it dawned on me right as he sat down, we started talking. I think it was about Jim Morrison. And I was like, oh my God, happy birthday, by the way. It's your birthday today, isn't it? He said, yeah. He said, oh my God, you remembered? I said, well, of course. Because his birthday is December 9th. Mine's January 9th. So he's been coming up once in a while, smoking pagan mix with me and stuff. And, it's usually only one. Sometimes we'll burn two of them, but, that's fine. Whatever he can afford, because I can't afford to really be going through mine very fast. And I certainly can't afford to get the herbs right now to make another batch. So, but my weight is on a yo-yo scale, because like the last time I weighed myself before tonight, it said that I was 226. And I got all happy and excited and thought, oh my God, I've lost that much weight. That's great. I weighed myself today, 245. And I'm like, oh, Christ. So, I'm going to, as much as it's going to be probably difficult for me to pull off, I'm going to try to make myself go over to Mom's tomorrow to see if she maybe wants to put up some more decorations or something. I've been watching Brooke's lives, her live streams on TikTok, her crystal business that she has, that I'm really proud of her, and I'm glad to help out and support her in any way I can. So I did sign up for the auto renew of $5.99 a month, because that's just my small way of trying to support her right now. She's been like constantly like lowering the prices of her items and stuff, but she's losing a lot of money, and she's under a lot of stress and strain right now, because she's got until February 13th to be moved out, or February 3rd. And I keep lighting candles every day and say, could you please help her find a place, because I don't want her and the boys to have to move in the middle of winter when there's snow and ice and frigid temps everywhere. And I guess Brooke said she's got a car, so I guess she's driving now, unless I misunderstood her. She said one of her live streams that I have a car. So I'm like, okay, well, cool. Maybe that means she's driving, which would be good, especially but God, I wouldn't want her to have to do that. I was going to say, if she did a rental car when she's here in March, no, we'll get her around in our car. As long as she don't mind, if she can, and when we really need it, putting a little bit of gas in the car, like $20, and we'll try to make it stretch as long as we can. And my carpal tunnel's acting up again, my left wrist. But I decided to start a tradition tonight in the spirit of Daryl's birthday and Jim Morrison's birthday, even though Jim Morrison's been gone since the 70s. Because there's a special, unexpected friendship developed between me and the spirit of Jim Morrison. Because he came to my backyard one year at my mom's when she was living at the old place. And it was the major shock for me, because for the longest time I was terrified of the guy, because all I had ever heard about him was negative stuff, nothing but negative stuff. And he said that really bothered him, but he didn't know why it bothered him, because he had never met me. He didn't know me in life. I was like 2 or 3 when he died. He was 27, so if he was alive today, he'd be probably my age group, or I'm not sure. But I think Pam went shortly after him. Like, if I remember reading right, it tells in the scrapbook of his that I have that it's my absolute treasured. It's treasured to me on the level of my Book of Shadows from the Charmed series. And that's really saying something. That's putting it up, giving it a high honor, because, I know Daryl's weird and he's awkward, and, he's a big guy. He's not all that intelligent, but he's not an idiot. He's drinking himself to death. Sadly, but he's trying to cut back on it. He's trying to get a job. So I'll do things like light a candle and say, let help Darell find a job, something that he can do, something that's easy to get to and from every day, that he don't have to worry about somebody pointing a gun in his face and, robbing him or whatever, any number of horrors that can happen. But help him find a job so he can feel better about himself, because I think a lot of it is he needs something to do, and understandably so. So, because my birthday is January 9th and his birthday is December 9th, Kalika, you're messing shit up. Damn it. Not now, for goodness sake. It's all I need is you knocking shit over right now. You just fucking went up here because I'm trying to do something and you damn well know it. Give me a fucking break. This is my time. I don't want a cat in my lap. And besides, you're so restless right now. It's like, damn, girl. So my diet is on a fucking yo-yo right now, and I don't like it. It's very discouraging. Can't seem to win for losing. And definitely on Yule, I will do a live stream, whether it's, sorry, my nose is bugging me, down at Maria's place or up here, but most likely I'll probably do it down there, because the first half of my day I'm going to be spending down there, and the second half I'll be spending up here. And then other days I will spend the first half down there and the second half up here. And then once I come upstairs, then I'm probably up here for the night. And then I might, go and check on our animals like one more time before I go to bed. But if I'm too tired, then I'm not going to feel like dredging down those steps and going to, to check on our cats. Because it's colder in the hallway, and I don't want to be doing it when I'm like half asleep and just want to, go in there, lay down, go to sleep, and get up, and it's another day. And before you know it, the Yule is here, and then after that, Christmas, and then after that, New Year's, and then there's going to be a lot of changes. Don't ask me for New Year's resolutions, because I just don't even bother making any. Because every time I've made one, I don't think I've ever kept any that I've made. So I'm not going to waste my time with that. Kalika, if you insist on being up here right now, then you're going to have to do it on my terms, cat. Lay your ass down right there, or nada. You hear me? Come on, lay down. Jesus Christ. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. You want to lay on my lap so bad? There you go. She's getting on my nerves, because these sores and stuff that she seems to have on her, all over her back, is it's like a scabbing thing going on, and she cannot lay still for more than a handful of seconds, and then she's up moving around again and repositioning herself and walking across my lap a million times, and walking across my candles, and I'm trying to light a prayer candle, and she's just in my face, and she gets on my nerves. So I snap at her. I don't mean to, but she just pushes me to it. Kind of like Pickles was being mean today to Brooke. She was being a little bitch, and Brooke was about ready to get rid of her. See, she's doing it again. Kalika, will you lay down right there? Period. If that ain't good enough, then get down, because I don't want you on my lap. Oh, Jesus. We can't afford to take her to a vet. So I have once again been exhausting myself every single fucking day, doing money drawing spells, trying to bring in some more money so that we can afford to take her to a vet and not have to borrow it from anyone else, because all the options that are on the table of people we could possibly borrow it from, I refuse to borrow it from, because then I'll have to pay them back. And I'm still trying to pay Mariner back. And I'm like, I still haven't been able to make it over on a consistent basis. I haven't even been in the library, let alone on a consistent basis, like I've been wanting to do, to get over there to get some stuff done, get some business related stuff, like, maybe take my paranormal books with me, take my books for my 3 courses that I failed because I stopped, was not able to make my payments, Kalika, anymore. So I had to let the class go because the cost of living has gone up and I could no longer afford to make my monthly payments. I even lost my insurance. So now I got to get insurance again. And once that kicks in, if I don't hurry up with that, as you get older, then the policy gets higher and they get to the point where they don't want to insure you because they feel like you're going to drop dead the next day. As crazy as that may sound. That's what some of them, I think, really genuinely believe. So I need something to do that makes some money that I can do out of the home, that's easy, that takes little to no effort to do. It gets me up and it gets me moving around at least a little bit, because I know I sit too much on this couch. Like just downstairs today when I was doing the little bit of decorating that I did. I would get a batch of the ornaments ready. I had to use paper clips because I didn't have anything else. And then I would take them in a bowl into the bedroom and I would put them on the tree and then, repeat the process until they were all on there. And I have no idea who this is, so I'm not answering it because I don't know anybody from that number. And when I try to have a live stream, my cat's in my face. Somebody's knocking on the door. Somebody's calling on the phone. Something's too much chaos going on. And it needs to stop because I can't take the shit. This is too much. Oh, man. I tried to get on my other computer earlier, on my main computer, so I could get into my Janelle account. And now I can't remember my password again. Quit! Thought I had written it down in a certain book that I keep those in. And I don't think it's there. So I try to reset the password and I can't even get that right. So this was the only one I was able to get on. I'm already mad and frustrated and very upset because I had to uninstall Avocan Life from my phone, and I'm about to do it on my Chromebook, which means I lose absolutely everything that I have worked a whole year building up, and all that money gone. That I'm not going to get that money back that I spent to get game fucking cash so I could get cool rooms and cool clothes and cool avatars and, pets that I would never be able to have in this realm. And then when you have pets in one of your rooms, you got to be able to feed them. You got to give them attention, or they're just sad. They just sit there sad all the time. Every time I try to get on my Avocan game anymore on this Chromebook, which is the only device in the house that I have that I seem to be able to download it onto other than my phone, and it keeps fucking up, chucking me out. I barely get in the room. I'm in there a handful of seconds. As long as I don't move, like literally don't move my avatar and just stand in one spot the entire time, it might stay. But the minute I move or I try to turn my avatar around to tend to my animals or go sit down on a chair or something, maybe dance, which is one of my favorite things to do, even when I'm there by myself. If it's just me and my pet, fine. I'm just going to dance because it makes me happy. But it just chucks me right back off. So I can't do anything. I can't get in any of my rooms. I have repeatedly sent messages to these jackrabbits, creeps, jerks, whatever you want to call them. Just letting them know how upset I am because they're not doing anything about it. They're not fixing it so I can play my game again. And I'm now torn between what the hell is the point of having the fucking shit and having all that stuff if I can't even enjoy it because they just refuse to fix the shit. And I'm not gonna waste any more money on those fucking games like that because it's just not worth it. Not when this is the price you pay. So I would not recommend Avocan Life to anybody. I don't care what your age group, because you can be as young as 13 and get on Avocan Life. And that is, to me, is just dangerous and stupid And it just opens the door wide for sexual predators that can maybe lure some of these kids to their death, because they're like, hey, why don't we meet up? And then this kid thinks they're going to meet some cool guy or something, and it's some dirty old man that rapes them and then throws their body, a dead body, in a field somewhere, and you might find them sometime later, after the animals get done and there's only bones left. I mean, it's a horrible way to think of things, but it is very much the true way of things. Because to me, a social avenue like that, or a social spot, should not allow any younger than 18, because at least there's some, hopefully, 18-year-olds out there that have enough damn sense to not, it's like, I see them like running around in their underwear, literally not a stitch of clothing on them, and stripping down to their underwear on their avatars, the most naked they can get. It's ignorant. To me, it's just plain ignorant. It's like, why are you running around in your underwear? Are you trying to impress somebody? Because you're not. They don't have X-rated stuff on this game, and if that's what you're here for, because your hormones are raging and you want to get off, go look somewhere else, because you're not going to find it here. That is not what Avakin life is about. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money, effort, and energy, and I can't even write to them right now, and I want to let them know I'm still pissed off because your game's still fucking up, and I can't get it to play, and I'm tired of all the money that I have invested in that fucking game, and it fucks up and won't even let me do any of my shit, won't let me in any of my rooms. Because that was literally the only way that I could hang out with two witch friends that I met on there. One is Russian and one is Norwegian. They go by Carrie and Sarah, or Kara and Sari. I always get the names mixed up. And we used to have a lot of fun together. They used to, like, if I would see that they was on, I would invite them to my room, or if they weren't on, then, I would just try to message them or something, say, hey guys, what's up? Sorry, it's been a while, but this game is still fucking up and it won't let me do nothing anymore. I even got VIP and didn't even keep it for even a full month. I had it a couple weeks and I said, no, I'm not going to put up with this shit, because it was the cheapest one they had. It was the bronze level. And I thought, oh, cool, this would be nice because you get free money and you get free gems, or at least to a point. At least that's the way IMVU does it. Actually, not IMVU. IMVU is more like, you can't work jobs on that game. One of the few ways that you can actually make money for yourself is if you create outfits on there and you sell them in their shop after you pay 500 game coins just to sell it in their shop. And then anytime anybody in the future buys any pieces of that outfit that you put together, then you get a commission off of it. None of that ever happened. I try to check it often. But yeah, there's just so much going on, and it's exhausting, and I can't. There's too much stuff going undone, and it's going to keep bothering me until I find a way to make it done. And that involves, it's like, if I get up and I say, okay, today's going to be a Janet day, I'm just going to focus on this room. And then just dive in and start doing it. Don't give it another thought. Just dive in and start doing it. And then if any company or anything comes over, it's like, look, I'm sorry. If you want to help me out, then I'll be able to visit with you a little better. Otherwise, I'm not going to be much of a conversationalist, because I'm focused on this. And I'm trying to get this done. Getting this room cleared out more. Getting rid of some more stuff. Because this place is just too small for what I am trying to house in it. And I know that. And it bugs me as much as it bugs anybody else. But I don't have any more room in the storage unit downstairs. I can't do a yard sale. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing a yard sale when it's cold and crappy out. And I don't even so much as have a tent that I can put up to turn into like a little store. I mean, what am I going to fit in there? I'd be lucky to fit one table, a handful of products, and then that's it. Because I don't have a tent or anything that I can put up. I have a food tent thing that I might be able to use, but probably not very realistically. I don't want to do a lean-to, because if it's raining, I don't want to be out in the rain and getting fucking soaked trying to sell stuff, and then all the stuff I'm trying to sell is getting wet. So I, I'm just, I'm fucking falling asleep during the day. This is how exhausted I am. I'm falling asleep during the day when I'm trying to be awake because that's the time of day I'm trying to get my stuff done. That's the time of day I'm trying to, it's like, okay, if I get up and I do this now, then maybe it's less likely. Kalika, that hurts. Jesus. I need some space. I need some time to myself. I need 3 days to myself. And the soonest I'm going to be able to get anything even remotely like that, which is going to consist of half a day downstairs and half a day up here, is I won't even be able to do that until the 21st. When Maria leaves and goes to New York for 2 weeks and doesn't come back until January 3rd or 4th. It's one of those, I think. I think it's January 4th she comes back. I haven't been able to buy anything off of Brooke's website yet because I just can't afford the shipping. I don't know how much the shipping is going to be. Shipping it from England to here, but she's going to be sending me a parcel. Part of it's going to be my Christmas. Anything that she's was able to get together for Chris, I'm sure she'll try to throw in some gifts that's for both of us, something that we can both enjoy. And I love her shop. I think she's doing really, really good with it. I am very proud of her. And one of the ways I try to support her is anytime that she's on. And this is the whole reason why I finally broke down and got TikTok, even though I really didn't want to, because I've heard a lot of bad stuff about it. And I myself right now am having trouble trying to figure it out on my own, how to use it, how to utilize it to the best of its ability. And so far I've only got a couple of videos on there that I didn't mean to put on there because I was trying to do a now thing where, I was trying to turn the camera around so that it would show a different angle or something, like the TV instead of me or something. And then I thought about, going into the bedroom, but I was just like, and then Kalika was on my lap and I'm like, oh boy. And I wasn't even downstairs very long, probably a couple of hours if that. And it was part of it was talking constantly about Inini, which is the big problem in the family. And I would ask the spirits now to please make her leave, make her mess up so bad and make them force her to get that DNA test proving that she is not his blood relative daughter. So she has no right to claim herself as his daughter, and ask her to leave and don't come back. And the same with Bonnie. And as much as I know it will hurt Anna terribly, and I would not be the one to want to take her grandkids away from her, and I know that's why she puts up with it, but it's costing her own life, and that's not fair. Her daughters should take care of their own kids. They should not leave it on Anna's shoulders to raise them, to get them off to school every morning, to take care of them when they're home every evening. And now Bonnie's pregnant again. So now this is going to be child number 4. And she's got 3 now officially by this guy. And it's another boy. And she's probably going to name him Damien the Second or Damien Jr. or some horrible thing like that. And he's going to be just as bad as his dad, because the youngest boy that is also by Damien literally kicked his older brother in the face as hard as he could. And he said, I did it because he made me mad. He wouldn't do something I wanted him to do or something, and he left a nasty bruise. I saw it myself. I was like, oh my God, that's that. If those 2 boys are going to be like that, what's Damien going to be like? Damien to me is the worst possible name to ever name a child because of the history tied to that name. And it's never anything good. I have heard countless stories, have not been able to prove or disprove a lot of them, but I'm talking stories that maybe even go all the way back to the Bible, about or the boy that cried wolf or whatever, and he kept crying wolf and he wanted the attention. And then when there actually was a wolf and he was about to lose his life, nobody went to his rescue because they thought he was just faking it again, and the damn wolves ate him. That's smart. Not. I need my own office. I need a place that I can use as my own office. I need a place that I can live part of the time and also live home which would be hard. It would take a lot of money. I know it's a big dream and it's probably impossible, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it a hell of a try anyway, because I want to get my paranormal business going. I want to get my cosmetology. I want to get my 3 courses done to the best of my ability. I'm not going to be able to do them through Stratford. I'll have to get other books on the subject out of the library, but hey, that's what the library's for. And if there's something the library can't get, I can always punch in a title and on Amazon, and I'm sure it'll bring up something, or I can go to Half Price Books and maybe find what I'm looking for there. I want to do some business management, some type of, like a practice run of sorts, and do kind of like a little, I don't know, short movie, if you will, about like doing a paranormal investigation or something. But I wouldn't be able to, I don't have the manpower to make up characters and stuff. What I would probably do is I'd just go and paranormal investigate the basement in this building down in the room that I wish to reclaim, because I think enough time has passed. Jay and Will are not around anymore. I don't ever know. No, I don't know what ever became of their fate. And I don't want to know, because I'm pretty sure it was nothing good. Last I knew, Jay became a meth head, and Will is probably the one that got him into it, and probably is doing it right along with him. So Jay's lost. He got kicked out of the coven, which that's saying something. I'm trying to get my own coven started. I haven't been able to do anything on that. I can't even sit down and begin a coven dynamic and be able to have conversations with spirit guides and teachers, and the dragons I'm sure would love to help any way they can. Is somebody knocking, or am I hearing things? I'm hearing things. Okay. So I can't really tell what this green did in my hair. I don't know. It does seem to have like a nice blue, but it's like my hair seems to dye itself where it will allow. There's like certain spots that it just seems to concentrate. But I wanted to get this stuff used up. I wanted to see what it looked like in my hair. And, I waited like a really, really long time, several months before I even put it in today finally, because it's kind of my way of being more earthy and more like Christmassy, but a color that I can live with, that isn't too bright or too dark or whatever, just kind of a happy medium in between. Now, it could fade to another color. I don't know, because when Chris put it in his hair, it was like he said first it was blue or something for a short time, then it turned green, but then it just didn't seem to take with his hair. So it may do the same with mine. I don't know if it's gonna, but I didn't want it to waste, because it was either $2 or $3.99 a bottle.
It didn't turn green, it faded.
It faded out completely. See, I knew it was something like that, but I got it for him originally because it was a nice hunter green, and that's the color that he likes. I have been seeing the Midnight Jade of the Splat kits in the store lately, but I just haven't had the money to get any. Because Midnight Jade, he said he seemed to like the way that one did in his hair. But that's one that it doesn't, I don't like the way it looks in my hair. So I probably won't do that one again. That's why I was experimenting with a type of a green color, because I was trying to see if it was a color that I could pull off that wouldn't look stupid, or, like I'm trying to be a fucking teenager or something again, because that's not it. I'm just trying to be me. I'm trying something different. I'm doing colors because, blues and greens tend to be soothing and calming, and, for some people, and it's earthy. I feel like this is more like the colors that Chris is talking about, that he likes to see me in, and also the Green Man, because this house dress I'm wearing, Chris got for me. It's nice and loose and comfortable, and I have to be careful when Kalika's on my lap, because she snags the crap out of anything nice that I have that I try to wear. My mom gave me this beautiful sequins wrap that I've got to find one of my dresses that I can wear with it, that it'll look good with. That is definitely something like an evening gown that you would wear for like a special night out or something. But I don't know, with my weight being yo-yoed like it is right now, I don't even know of my stuff what's going to even remotely fit me. And clothing is definitely something I don't need to be going out and spending more money on, because I have no room for it. I've already got a bag of clothing sitting in the dining room that I've been meaning to get over to the thrift store, but then they closed down for a while because they were doing renovations, and they just recently opened back up. I found out through Jim and Mom, And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll finally get my ass over there one day, on the way to mom's or something. I'll go over to the thrift store, drop the shit off, maybe pop in for a minute, see if the place is in fact up and running again and they've got it moved around. Like, I guess they put different stuff different places now, just like all the stores seem to be doing. It's like you get used to certain items being in a certain part of the store and then they change it and it's like, oh crap, now you got to learn a whole new system, and with a million things running through your head on top of it already, you don't need one more damn thing. You're trying to remember now where everything is because they decided to move it. It's like, oh my god. Like they say, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And I thought the store was fine just the way it was. But for whatever their reasons or whoever's reasons, the higher ups or whoever's the ones that wanted the renovations, it's one of those things. They're going to have their way, whether anybody likes it or not. And, if that means they have to be closed down for several weeks, which if you think about it now is a bad time to be closed down because it's so close to the Christmas. Oh, man. And it's not over yet. I never get a break because if I go over to my mom's, if I'm lucky, the only time that I truly get a break in time to myself there is I'm allowed an hour and a half upstairs in the attic bedroom. But if I don't spend the rest of the time downstairs with mom, she gets pissy about it and then starts telling me that you spend too much time up there because I'm supposed to just sit down there with her the entire time. It's not my fault that she's too scared to go up them stairs. And I've already told her that I would help her to do so. And I would make sure she got down okay if I had to hold on to her and back down the steps myself so that I could hold on to both of her arms and hands so I could help make sure she got down the steps. Because they're very narrow. You've seen them, Brooke. You've seen how narrow the steps are to go up to my attic. But think of how much fun we had up there and the time that we did have. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that again. But now I'm going to be leery about using that as a bedroom anytime I want to spend the night there because I don't want to come out in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and Jim's looking at porn and jacking off to it. I don't need to see that shit. I don't care for it. I don't need to see it. So I'm afraid, even though I can lock the door from the inside when I'm in my attic bedroom that he gave me. See, mom never gave the official her seal of approval. Well, I didn't give it to you. I didn't say you could use it for that. And then they went so far as to say they didn't want me to have my pentacles up. They didn't want me to have my Wiccan symbols up. So I had to take all those down. I had to fine, I just won't even leave my bag here anymore. So now I have to carry my bag with me each time when I need to do spell work that I'm trying to do to benefit them. But they're so afraid of it. And mom is so chicken shit to come up the steps, even though we've told her and told her and told her. If you want to come up the steps, I will help you up the steps. I will help you back down the steps. She's just not going to be happy until she gets up there and sees that room. And it's like, see, mom, this is all I've done with it. I haven't brought any more up here. You might probably think that I'm like bringing stuff up here behind your back. No. I have more respect for you than that. And when I mentioned bringing a couple more of my stuffed animals, in this case only 2, like my unicorn and Sasha, those are the only other two animals I wanted to bring from here. So I could have them there where I could enjoy them instead of them being covered under a shit ton of clothes in there. And, I feel like I might as well throw them in a box and forget about them. I have no room to put them down in the storage unit. I mean, my white tiger I was able to fit down there, but I don't... I used to be able to set the tigers on my bed during the day and then take them off at night when I went to sleep. Even if I could just put my tiger and my unicorn on my side of the bed during the day and then, toss them up on the clothes mountain that's still in the bedroom. So I would rather have a room that I could just display that, just have them in because they give me comfort. One of them is something that my daughter got me. Or not got me, she named it. She named the unicorn Sparkle because she's got a gold horn that's got sparkly stuff in it, and it's gold satin stuff. She was $20 at a thrift store. Jim got her for me. It's the biggest unicorn I've ever had. And the little kid in me has always liked the cool, big stuffed animals that you don't find just anywhere. And my cousin Lynn had her share of them. And I was always so jealous that she had all those cool stuffed animals. I never had stuff like that when I was a kid. So what the hell's wrong with having it now? And it's not like I'm trying to fill that attic space up with my stuff. It's not like I'm trying to move in there. I have an air mattress up there, a couple of my tables, a handful of my small stuffed animals, and that's about it. I mean, just kind of bits and pieces. And already that room, the section that's supposed to be mine, is getting filled up with her shit. Because when Brooke finally is able to get us to get some of her stock to us, and we become her U.S. connections on this end, so we can help get the products out there for her. I will do live streams myself. They may have to be on YouTube. Because I don't know if I could pull off doing one on TikTok, because then I would be feeling like I'm trying to take over and, like run the shop just like she runs hers there on that end, across the pond, as they say in England. Um, she's coming up in March. She's going to be here for 12 days again. So, yeah, of course, we would absolutely love to be able to help generate some money for her so she can do that. And she's already knows that she can stay at mom's this time, because I just feel like that will be more comfortable with her. Not that Maria's was uncomfortable, but I think Maria got a little upset because she claims that Brooke hardly talked to her. Brooke she didn't even know us really until she met us that day. And we finally found her in the airport, which that was funny. But that girl was holding me so tight, and I was about to say, honey, I can't breathe. And here I am, this little short shit, and she's like 5'9" or almost 6 foot. I'm like, oh boy, wow. But she's just as beautiful to me, and she was squeezing me so tight. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. So I figured, mom's got the day room now. That's the room that I stay in. It's also the guest bedroom. That's the room Carol would stay in when we'd have her there. And that's the room I stay in when I spend the night, which I haven't even been able to do that because there's too many other things going on that I just haven't had the time. I haven't had the gas, and I haven't had the energy. Because when I go over there, my mom, she expects me to spend more or less the majority of the time there with her, just sitting around hearing her talk about the same things over and over again a million times, stories that I'm tired of hearing because she's told them so many times, because her memory's failing and she don't want to admit it. She won't get her glasses. She won't let us help her get glasses. She won't let us help her get another set of false teeth. Jim is still not doing enough. He's still leaving her there alone a lot. So then the burden falls on me, and the burden falls on Chris. We have to be the ones to go over there and keep her company. And most of the time it's just me, because I don't want to put Chris through it every single time, because to me it would be unfair to expect him to go every single time. If he feels like going, he will let me know, and then he's absolutely welcome to go. But mom, she's high maintenance to the point of she wants to be the center of attention the entire time. She wants to be entertained, and it's like it's our duty and our job to entertain her when we walk in the door. And I don't always have the energy to put on a performance just because my mother expects me to, because she's bored out of her own damn skull, because she won't get with any of the ladies in her church. She don't even go to the church anymore. I have offered many times to read scriptures out of the Bible right there in her front room, just me and her. And then that's it. We wouldn't even have to have a discussion unless we put our own spin on it. If Jesus was here today, this is how I think he would do this. This is how I think things would be handled. What did mankind learn from this? Or is mankind just constantly doing the same shit over and over again that gets nowhere? Taking this laptop over to my mom's, live streaming in the attic, which is one of the few places that I have the privacy to do so. That's where I'm going to have the shop. When Brooke can get us the stock, some of her stock, so we can sell the stuff for her on this end, and just send her the money. only keep enough money, like if we have to pay shipping to ship it out or something, or I don't know how it's all going to go because I've never had a business to run yet. So I got my business management book. That's some of the stuff I've been wanting to go to the library and do, and just a million damn things happen at once and I can't get it done. So it's like, how much longer am I have to keep putting my life on hold to please everybody else? And I'm fucking wiped out. I'm exhausted. I need a break. I need 3 days to myself. Just not expected to do anything, or just be able to relax, catch up on some stuff that I've been meaning to catch up on. I've been trying to get back into a more consistent meditation, schedule, but it's not really consistent because if I don't go over there every day for a solid week and then do a meditation every day, I can't even come up with, okay, do I want to do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? Do I want to do this day and then take this day off and then maybe do this day and then take that day off? So tomorrow is Saturday. It's only like 5 to 9 p.m. here, so it's pretty early still. And on a good note, I'm really stumped by this, but somehow I already have 15 followers on TikTok now. I'm going, okay, cool, hi, So I've just been trying to go through more of the names, and if I spot any that are customers of Brooks that show up at her shop regularly and they follow me, I'll follow them back. I'll say hey because they're starting to get familiar with me, apparently to the point that they're like, hey, come and watch my live. And I have yet to do that. I don't think I've watched anybody else's live but Brooks, because when you have different time zones that you're dealing with, I can't always promise that I'm able to watch 2 lives in one day. Like I would feel awkward if I had Brooks live on my phone sitting next to me over here, and then I had somebody else's live on another device. It's just, that's too much. I'm not the multitasker like that. Chris is, but I'm not. So, I've been allowing Darell. I mean, this is another reason why I've been thinking about taking the basement back. And if John says anything this time, just fight him right back and go, look, John, you're pretty fucking rude to be doing this. Reconnected. I hate when it does this. Jesus. Anyway, there's nobody on, so I guess it don't much matter. So hopefully here, no later than Yule, because I don't anticipate that anything's going to be happening on Yule other than some special live stream that I'll try to do. And I'll try to, celebrate the Yule, do the Yule ritual that from my Wicca book. Maybe if I feel up to, the next time I feel up to taking this laptop over to Mom's, then I will do a live stream up in the attic after I spend some of the time downstairs with her and enjoy and let her be in the live stream as well, so I can show off all her pretty Christmas decorations that she has up, because I have put them up. I have found some of them in the attic for her and dragged them down the steps, and I think I deserve a couple of hours up there by myself. Even if it's just me up there talking to my spirits, so be it. What's the big deal? Or if Maria's with me on the rare times that she's with me during the weekday, usually if she's going to be there, or I would have to wait until after she got off work tomorrow and go, and I don't want to wait that long. I try to get my stuff done during early afternoon between the hours of 12 and 3. And those of you that watch me consistently, you should be able to tell exactly, what I'm talking about, because the hours between 12 and 3 is when I try to do a live stream. Yeah, when it starts hurting my head, after a while, like I can only position it so many times in my hair. This is the crystal crystal crown that Brooke sent me that I still don't know where she got it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's literally 9 crystals on it. They're real pretty. These are real crystals, and they've been through that certain process they do. Like some of them are green, some of them are purple and blue, and then a couple over here are yellow. And I love them. I love them. I think they're precious to me. She sent that along with the dowsing rods, which I haven't been able to play with much on here yet, and the little cloth Ouija board that I really have a hard time setting it on my lap and trying to ask questions because of how far it has to swing to even spell anything out. So then I fall back to taking a pendulum and then just say, show me yes, show me no, show me uncertain. And it shows me the different positions that mean what. And then those I can only ask yes or no questions. If it's a question that they're not certain of, whatever spirit's trying to answer it, then it'll say uncertain. Like uncertain sometimes will be like this, back and forth this way. Yes will be circle, and then other times uncertain will be up and down, or this way will be no, or this way will be no. And when in this way is no, this way is the other, it gets confusing. But I've been lighting Yule candles every day. I try to only let them burn for about 5 minutes each time because it's just a fun little experiment I'm doing. I've got the Yule colors up, green, white, and red. The green color being the goddess color. I actually did take a toothpick and I put the goddess symbol on it. And I used a white candle to represent me and to represent spirit, the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit, the spirit of family, the spirit of ancestors. And then I found this because this is a piece that I think I got from, I'm pretty sure I got it from some jewelry that I found in some jewelry boxes that I kept when Faith and Jen moved out, because Jen would order these clothes from this place that was called Nadine West, and the clothes were always in a large size, and I never saw her wear any of them, and there's some really cute outfits. I think they finally did stop coming here, and I'm kind of thankful, because if that was something she was paying for and then she's not working, therefore can't pay it anymore, like me and Maria would split the clothes up between us. And with me being as heavy as I am, I know there was a lot of stuff that I picked that I'm like, there's no way I can wear this around, people outside of this building, because they would make fun of me, because I'm wearing something obviously too small and it won't look right on me. And I'm trying to get my brain to think that I'm skinny when I'm not. This fucking yo-yo diet shit is just discouraging as hell, because I can't keep myself in shakes. I'm still, something's making me gain it and lose it, gain it and lose it. And it's like, I don't even know if I should trust the fucking scale, because I did drop it once. So is it even accurate? What it says, because it's like, how the hell could I go within a few days time from 226 to 245? What did I eat that was had that much fat in it, or that much sugar, or that much carbs, or whatever the hell that's causing me to put this fucking weight on, and I can't get rid of it? And it's unhealthy, and I hate feeling so fat and disgusting, because I am trying, and only to be like knocked back down again. Kalika, you cannot be on my lap like that. You got to lay down like that. Jesus. Oh, man. Well, I've been on here almost an hour. I'm just getting too irritated and agitated and discouraged and angry, and Cat is bugging me to death. I was just about to get up and get me something to drink, and she just decides that she's got to be on my lap again. And this is me exhausted, and it's still not over. Why? Because I never get a fucking break. People think a lot of times when I'm sitting here and I'm not actively getting up and moving around, I'm doing nothing. That is not true. It is because I am on another level in my head, shit that I'm trying to formulate, schedule, uh, make it part of a more daily routine, start acting like a business owner, because I would rather have some skills under my belt, even if it's me that teaches them to myself by, through the library, finishing my courses. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to waste my time sending my tests in to be graded, because Stratford won't even give me the time of day right now, because I failed 3 courses and stopped making my payments. Now that's 3 courses I don't know when I'm ever going to fucking have paid off, because I trusted somebody for one of them. They let me down. The second one was because of a messed up card that I used that I wanted to give a try, because the low maintenance fee, and it was only like, I think that one was only like $1 a month or some crazy crap to use it. And then ended up with net spend, which is $5 every time you use that. If I put money on it tomorrow, which I don't have any to put on it, but if I had money to put it on tomorrow, it wouldn't do much good, because I feel like I would no more than have the money on there, something would take it, or somebody would possibly hack my account, and it's just like the same of not having any money at all. But I can't say I don't have any business money that I can use. I can't even afford $20 once a month, really, to get the resin kits and keep myself in enough resin that I can do double castings now, because I have 2 of everything. I have 2 of the small molds. I have, what I mean by small molds, 2 of the small molds like this. This is one of the big ones, I think. Or is that the small one? Tell. Got one of the things here. Okay, this is the small one. Yeah, because see how much room is in the mold, and it's right here. So this is one of the small ones. This one, I was trying to make it a certain shade of purple. It came out a real light purple, but it's still, to me, it's still just as pretty. It's nice and thick in some spots. And then, this took a lot, just that one piece. So imagine 2 this size, 2 the big size, 2 pendants, which they're about like this, 2 of the square keychains, rectangle actually, 2 of the circle keychains. They're not very big, so when you do them in resin castings, they have like no weight to them, so you could actually wear them as earrings if you wanted. And if you wanted a matching pair of earrings, like if you wanted to take the pendants and wear them as earrings, you screw the little eyelet things in it. You only get it so many in the kit. You get like 6 keychains, and then you get 6 of the little eye holes that you screw into the top of the pendant, so you can put it on a chain and wear it. Or if you decide to do it in an earring, you can do that. But it's my fingers get in the way, because they're chubby stubbies and they're in the way. So it's hard for me to even get one of the eyelet things screwed into the top of the pendants right now. So I tried to do that for a purple one that I had made for my daughter, Alicia, that I was going to give her for Christmas. And I finally gave up, and I said, I am not going to be able to get this damn thing in here. I give up. My only other option there, but it's too late now because I've already wrapped the gift. My only other option would have been to use one of the bigger eyelet holes, which I do have some bigger ones. That is part of a picture hanging kit that I got from Jim when he was cleaning out the Breckenridge place. This is wire that, if you do it right, you can like pull out the wire, see how long it is. You can clip it off on both ends, and then you fasten it in some way onto like the back of a picture or something, so you can hang it. I've got a garland to make. I've got some half loop things to make with my crochet yarn, so I can like hand sew those to the 2 tapestries in the temple room down at Maria's that keep getting pulled off the wall. These are the bigger eyelet holes. And then it has, to see it, you screw it in. Can you see that? Anyway, you screw it in, and it gives me more to hold on to, because the other little eyelet things you really do need. And I've even tried it with my pliers, tried holding the piece with my pliers and screwing it in. So I was like, forget it, this is not working. There's these little bracket things that you can like use the nails from this kit, nail them into the wall, and it has a natural hook. And then you take some of the metal cable and you have that fastened to it in some secure way so that it can hang on this, and then you can hang the picture. I just haven't been able to do anything with it, and it's very frustrating to me. And I do have a few nails in here. So, yeah, it's no wonder I'm exhausted. And this shit won't quit popping up on my fucking live stream, and it's making me mad. I finally did it. I finally actually have Creepy Hollow's vessels in the bottom of my Phoenix bottle here, which I'm about to fill up right now while I can before Kalika decides to come and bother me again. Ugh. My little offering bowl here. I don't know if I ever did clean that out. It's wooden. I might use it for one of these candles I've been meaning to light. I've been meaning to do a dark goddess ceremony of sorts. There, I'm setting those on top of my light up speakers that I don't know if I could plug them into this or not. Anyway, I'll try that later. This is my unicorn incense thing that I feel really bad. About what happened with that, because it was something that Brooke had gotten for herself the last time she was here, which was last December. Hang on, let me get my drink. Oh boy. There has been a lot of magical related stuff that's been going on too. Don't worry, it's all good. It's some of the spell work that I've been able to do. The few times that I've been over at my mom's, and then some days I'm so exhausted, even though I go nowhere and do nothing because I'm visiting with friends. I'm trying to keep the energies positive when I do that. I'm celebrating somebody's birthday with them because I feel bad that they're all alone and that they don't have any friends. You know, some people have a hard time understanding certain senses of humor or ways of people viewing things, or what contrast they like to put things in, or what level they like to put it on of, I know how to do this and I'm kind of into this and hang out with this and like to go here, and just sharing some time and giving that person just some company with friends for a couple hours. Burn one while we're at it. One of the days over at my mom's that I'm speaking of, some of the wonders that happened, that I know it's them manifesting. It's just magic's way of going, hi, guess what? We're back. I'm like, oh, goody, goody, goody. Did you bring any money blessings with you? Because we really need the money right now. Trying to keep my voice down to a decent level too, because Chris is trying to play his game, and I know I tend to get loud sometimes and don't mean to, so I try to be more noticeable when I'm getting too loud so that I can lower my voice back down to your indoor voice kind of thing. Finally got this lighter case fixed. This is the pretty one that it's metal and it has these real pretty flowers and stuff on it. I would show it, but as soon as I move, that can of pop's going to spill everywhere. But anyway, it's real pretty, and it's one for a big size, a bit lighter, one of the big ones, regular size, not the minis. And the lighter kept coming out of the bottom. So I was like, gosh, dang it, there's got to be something I can do. So one of my spirits kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, Janet, all you have to do is take your pliers and just give it ever so slightly, the smallest little squeeze. It'll snug it up and it won't slide through anymore. And then it'll fit the way it's supposed to. I'm like, okay. So I did that and voila, it works. It does still poke out the bottom, but it takes it longer and it don't like slide out as soon as you put it in. I don't have any cases that fit any of the minis because the minis are only like that big, they're tiny. So let's see, tomorrow's the 10th. See if I can go over to Mom's, put some more decorations up for her, maybe find some candles to put in her. She's got this real pretty Christmassy Santa and cherub angels, Noel, joy thing that you can put like 4 candles in the back of each one or 3 candles or something like that. And they have to be tapers. Me personally, I don't have any problem going with the smaller tapers. Like right now, that's the majority of what I have. But I do remember my mom saying that one of the things that she's been wanting me to find upstairs that I have been trying to find is a box with a bunch of candles in it, because she seems to think that it was in a tote that I have not been able to find up there. And I keep telling her, Mom, I'm telling you, the only tote up there is this color and this is what was in it. I've already looked. So the stuff may have gotten put in a regular box because Chris or somebody had to use the tote that they were in to pack some clothes or to pack some other objects that are, like Mom, she likes her figurines and stuff like I do. But the part that people don't understand about my figurines is that is basically my scrapbook of, different happy times that I've had in my life. It's the story of my life. It's just not particularly in book form, which part of my destiny is supposed to be writing spiritually based books. Well, to be a writer, you have to have the skills. You have to read about it. You have to learn proofreading. You have to be your own tough love in a way that, okay, Janet, yeah, you could have done that one a little better, but it's a nice effort. Let's see what we can do next time, see if we can make it any better or make it any stronger. So I love this necklace, bandana, crown, crystal crown that she sent me. And I do try to wear it often because it is crystals. And especially when the crystals are blue and they're around the neck, which is the throat chakra, it helps with communication. So I have another necklace that I just recently got from my mom's, but I haven't worn it with anything yet because this piece, it's costume jewelry, okay? It's black and white. I thought it was really cool, and it's got a black tie ribbon on the 2 sides, so you can literally tie it around your neck. If you want it to hang a little low, you tie it a little loose. You want it to be more like a choker, then that's how you tie it. You snug it up in the back, you tie it in a bow. Usually what I do is if the bow doesn't seem to hold very well, especially if I'm moving my hair around a lot and I'm moving my head around and I'm laying back at times and stuff, I've got this cute bow that I haven't worn in my hair yet, that I think the only way I'm going to be able to is I'm going to have to use like a bread tie or something to be able to tie it into my hair, or use a hair clip, like literally glue a hair clip to it so I can wear it. But it's really cute. Oh, I just saw it recently over here. It was one of these bags that had this stuff in it because I was like, oh, that's where that went. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. I've been trying to keep this table cleaned off for the cats. And I don't know, where is the necklace? I think it's in here. Wait, did I put it in one of the side pockets or? It's not that side pocket. My crystals. I usually keep these in the car. Whoa. I was just looking at it. Where? Here it is. Here it is. I got it. I just thought it was a fun decorative piece. Both of these. It's a bow, and it's got skulls on it. So that would be something cool to tie in the back of your hair. And it does have a little tie thing that it's tied onto this card with. Huh, how about that? It actually hangs down. Let's see if I can tie it into my hair. Yeah, it'd probably be easier to do that with like some hairpins or something. And this is the other piece. And so I can. Damn it, I wish these fucking things would quit popping up. This is the piece. See? It's just basically costume jewelry. Let's see if I can. Okay. That's as snug as you can wear it. And I just tied it. It probably won't stay that way long because it has just enough weight to it. Because, I mean, some of these gems, I'm sure, are probably like plastic. I don't know that any of them are like beads that you would find at a store or something like that. Yeah, see. There. So you could, with the right outfit, this would look really nice. And there's nobody on, so. But anyway, yeah. So that's just some some pieces that you like. A piece like this, I would definitely say gothic. Like maybe I could take this and like sew it onto something and just wear it that way, or Don't know yet. Haven't decided. But have a couple more pieces in here that are still on the card. Okay. Nope, they're not. Yeah, they are. Wait. They are. Okay. These I have shown on here before. But I'm going to go ahead so you don't have to go through a million videos to find where I showed these last. It's just a little piece. Like, see, this is all the longer it is. It's not, whoops, my bad. It's like that, just like a little square, basically. You know, you can obviously tell which side is the underside, which side is the top side. This is the top side. And I made a beautiful tablecloth with the first batch of these that I had. And then I have this one, which is Jack Skellington's head. And this one, this is Jack and Sally. And it's the same like this one. And they're the only ones now. They're the only two that aren't on their card, that are still on their card. See, here's one of the Jack and Sally. And I've already done it. Haha. See? Took the two pieces, hand sewed them together, and on a small table, or if you wanted to, you know, be unique, this is actually a decent size for an altar cloth. Just the two pieces sewn together. And the edges I need to redo, though, because they're unraveling. And these are just little squares, little scraps of material that you can buy for a couple of bucks in the Walmart, you know. And I have another one like this that's the black. So I thought about, you know, maybe making a curtain, like use this as one of the squares, use this as one of the squares, this and this, and just like do one, and then so it's like, okay, let's sew this one on, and then what would look good with that, and then sew that one underneath, and, you know, just fun little projects like that, yeah, I mean, I could do that on a live stream, you know, just so maybe it'll inspire somebody to do something similar, or, you know, like dabble in their creative abilities that they may not even know they have. But anyway, I have to keep readjusting on this chair because my back is still hurting me. I had to make myself drink a full bottle of ice water in my Phoenix bottle before I allowed myself to have my last pop of the day, which usually in the past, how I would do things is I would have my two pops that I would allow myself each day. I'd have one right after the other, and I'd do it first thing in the morning. And I got these things. Haven't really used them that much because they smell god-awful. They're sticky. And even cut in half, they're hard to swallow. As you just saw, because I coughed a piece back up. So each two pieces of that particular gummy, they're called super greens. But I got them off of a clearance rack for like $6 and something, because these are right up there with the when you try to get the Noriva gummies, or even just the vitamins that was in this bottle, which this one was hair, skin, and nails gummies, collagen and biotin, which those are both supposed to be good for your hair and your nails. Collagen, that more is in the realm of the skin, which I have dry feet issues really bad. Lotion is not something that I usually buy and use, because every time I've bought any lotion, except on the rare occasion, like I found some lavender mint that me and Maria fell in love with, that we found at Menards, and you can get the lotion version of it, and you can also get the body wash. So I got the mint and the lavender. She got one of the other scents that they had. I forget which one it was, because it smelled good and she liked it. And, it's aromatherapy. So aromatherapy is always good. Just like certain colors will make people feel, calmer, as opposed to other colors that'll just like, it's like, okay, who gave you a shot of espresso today? Like 4 times over, because they're bouncing off the walls because they have too much energy. But as you all know, those that truly follow me, thank you all again for that. I try to wear green stuff on Friday because the color of the week for Friday is green. That's also earth. So this makes me feel more grounded. It's loose. It's comfortable. As you can see, I'm not, I'll have my venting about how disappointed I am that my weight is on this yo-yo phase right now, because I can't afford to do anything else. I can't afford to join a gym. I'm left with, like fruit juices and, just kind of finding my own things, that basically making my own slim fast meals, if you want to look at it that way, by portioning stuff and just like making up my own little meals. And well, in order to do that, you have to have containers to put them in. And we just simply don't have that kind of room. Because like, what if one of the meals I have like a little salad in a bowl and a covered bowl, and then I have like a little thing of soup in a covered container, and then I have like maybe a couple of sandwiches, excuse me, so I could do the soup and sandwich, which a lot of people will do because it's more filling and you're eating less. But then when it comes to grilled cheeses, which are some of my favorite types of sandwiches, I have to be careful about the cheese intake, because then it stops up the poo chute, and then that's not so fun, because nobody wants to be miserable, not be able to go to the bathroom. And this is some of the perils of being that I am finding that comes with the job of being a Blue Phoenix, and it's not fun. Man, just think of how much more exhausted I'm going to be when I start doing paranormal investigations and have to start lugging this equipment around, because the majority of the time it's probably going to be me doing it by myself, because one of the few people in this building that would probably be really, truly willing to do it with me is Maria. Darell is still looking for a job. I hope he finds one soon, because it'll make him feel better. It'll give him something to do. It'll give him something to occupy his time for a few hours a day. So right now, when I go quiet like this, it's because I'm already thinking about tomorrow, and what am I going to try to get done tomorrow? What can I realistically get done tomorrow? What are my energy levels like, because the super greens are basically, it's a gummy formula that's a type of, vitamin supplement that I thought I would try because of how expensive they are when you pay full price for them. And they were only like $6 and something on the clearance shelf. So I took my chances. And instead of cutting up the entire bottle, I just cut up enough of them that'll last me a while, without too much, because it's very sticky. It's like, And I usually cut it with this knife because it's like a kitchen knife and it's just got enough sharpness still on the blade. It can cut through the gummies, no problem. But they just smell so god awful and they taste so god awful. I mean, probably because they're old and it's kind of one of those, it's this medicine's not meant to taste a certain way. It's unfortunately does have like a bleh to it that I really don't like. But I'm just I don't know what else to do. I can't. My care source insurance won't allow me to get any therapy anywhere. So I can forget about getting on any kind of weight loss program because nobody will take care source to do that. They all want money out of the pocket. And then, of course, when they do get money out of the pocket, they charge such a ridiculous amount that, $50 may not seem like a lot to them, but it's a lot to those of us that can't afford it because we have no income. And I'm just running out of things to try and just to have something to do, even if it doesn't make a lot of money. If it gets me up, it gets me moving, it helps me to feel like I'm being at least productive a little bit, and living my life. I'm trying to get some more cash flow coming through here, but not just for me, for Chris, for Maria, for Darell, helping him find this job that he wants. Um, and those of us that are lucky enough to have a job, like Kim downstairs below us, right below us, she's the sister-in-law of the landlord here. Yeah, sweetheart of a lady, love her to bits. But I haven't gotten fluent enough. I haven't even tried with speaking her language and being able to talk to her in her language and understand what she's saying back. Chris helped me find this app on my phone that we would play around with, like last summer when we would be sitting out back or something and Kim would come home from work. Let's see if I can find it. And my glasses, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to get them replaced. I'm going to have to wait until January because people at the fucking Vision Center at Walmart made me waste a fucking trip to come up there and just for them to tell me they weren't going to replace my glasses because they somehow thought I was saying I wanted new glasses. And that was not the case. Let me find it. Play Store, Faces of the Moon, PayPal. Where are you at? It's like a voice interpreter thing. Meow. 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 What are you bitching about now? All right, you know what? I don't think it's on here anymore. Oh crap! I probably ended up taking it off because I wasn't using it or something. I'm looking for something, Kalika. You're just gonna have to wait a damn minute. Oh no, I don't want that shit. I want to see any of it. Kalika, will you lay down, please? Well, apparently it's not on here anymore. I thought that it still was because I don't remember ever removing it. But anyway, it would take English words and translate them into Vietnamese so that we could play them back for her so that she could understand what we were saying. I'm trying to think here. What kind of... Give me a minute. I'm trying to sign on to my SoundCloud here. But I gotta turn it down. I haven't listened to this in a while. And I've got it down low, so hopefully it won't be too disturbing and bother Chris because he's in there playing his games. So I turned the volume down to about half strength. Kalika, you seriously need to lay down. Lay down. You're bugging me. Lay down. But anyway, I want to, be able to get some of my paranormal investigations going. Get a hold of some people, maybe on TikTok, find some people that are close to me or close to our building so that I can maybe go investigate their place with a group of us. Well, I guess if this bugs him, still bothers him, or he can hear it or whatever, he can always put his earphones on to tune out anything I'm playing. But I didn't feel like trying to use my earbuds because if I'm going to do that, then I would only be able to have one in my ear because I want to still, even though I can't hear any responses from anyone, it would just be, they won't stay in my ears for one. And for two, it would be awkward sitting here with earbuds in and talking because I would be afraid that I would end up getting too loud. Kalika, you seriously need to lay down. Will you lay down, please? Jeez. Lay down. Quit moving around every few seconds. Ugh. So in honor of Jim Morrison's birthday today, I went through my scrapbook with my neighbor Darell and talked about some of the stuff in it that makes it that much more precious to me because I never got to meet Jimmy in life, meaning he was, when he died, I was like 2 or 3 years old. So I never got to meet him, kind of like Elvis, I remember seeing Elvis once in my stroller. I was 2 years old at the time. Remember it crystal clear. That was trippy. But I'll never forget it. And years later, when I was a teenager, and I think he was already gone by then. But it was a nice way to honor Jimmy's memory, too, by sharing my scrapbook with someone else that is a Sagittarius. Because Darell is a Sagittarius. His birthday is December 9th. Mine is January 9th. So, of course, I'm a Capricorn. And then Maria is a Sagittarius. Her birthday is December 1st. And she's, by all intents and purposes, she's my older sister. Because she's 10 years older than me. So here lately, Darell, has been coming over here once, every few days or so. It's not like he does it every single day or anything. But when he does, like if Chris is in there playing his games, then we'll smoke in here in the front room. If Chris is in here watching TV, then we'll smoke in the dining room. Because I don't trust smoking anywhere else with him if it's just me and him, because he's a big guy. He could overtake me easily and rape me before I knew what happened. and bang my fucking head into the concrete or something. I've already got one damn concussion. I don't need another one. I hate these stupid ads. Fucking annoying. So I didn't see any harm in, wishing him happy birthday, burning one with him. Um, no, I do not want that. Just trying to get a dadgum advertisement off my screen. This is one of my favorite songs. But it starts out kind of low, so it's kind of quiet. Nobody's on, it's just me. I didn't figure anybody would be this late at night. Even though it's 9 to 10 o'clock, but for different time zones, it's much later.
Other time zones, it's earlier.
Huh?
I said for other time zones, it's earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, come here.
What is my daily message for today? Put my eyeballs on for this one. Page of Swords. Pages usually mean messengers of some sort, a young messenger or something. Let's see. Swords. Here we go. Page of Swords. Authority, overseeing, secret service, vigilance, spying, examination, and the qualities thereto belonging. What? Authority, overseeing, secret service, vigilance, spying, examination, and the qualities thereto belonging. Okay. Okay, that's a weird one for a daily card, but oh well. Could be a new venture coming up or something. Yeah. This is my deck that Brooke got me. It's real pretty. It's Prism. The whole deck is the side that has the pictures on it, like the High Priestess and all them, is foil. It's real pretty. Thought that was a very thoughtful gift that she. I don't know if she brought that from England or if she bought it here somewhere. I never really asked, but I decided to use my pretty purple one here today. It's a lot more sheer than I meant it to be. But like I said, I've just really been having issues with the resin, and I can't afford to keep myself in resin right now because with the holidays and stuff, pretty much any extra money that I have been blessed with, I'm spending on Christmas. So yeah, it's been busy. I would do one of my dragon cards, but they're in my purse and it's all the way over there, and I just don't have the energy to go over there and get them. Of course, I still have the 3 decks of card at my feet that I could use like a daily. I could do a daily card out of them, but right now I just feel like that's overkill. Like my energy is waning, and it's only 10 to 10, so Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. I don't even know what to make my focal point tomorrow. Is the work that I'm going to try to get done while I'm over at Mom's, which I'm only going to have an hour and a half to do, because if I stay up the attic much more than that, she's going to bitch and complain that I'm spending up too much time up there and not enough down there with her. It's exhausting. That's all I know. For those of you that do not know, just FYI, because you've never heard him before, this is Kid Spooky singing. It's some of his music I got on SoundCloud, which was free. And there's certain tracks that I really like that I've got on here, and I have some Justin Timberlake music and some Hoosier, which I wish the hell they would bring back Movement so I could put it back on my list, because I love that song. And I don't want to get roped into a subscription before they'll let me, put the song on my list. You have a friend suggestion. Danny who? I don't know this person. Sandy Jackie. Cindy Jackie. Don't know them either. $47 tomorrow, 4. It'll feel like 4, cooler than today. Oh boy. Yowza. Uh-oh. More stupid freaking ads. Hate these damn things. Hey Bella, sorry baby, I don't have any food. This is one of my favorite. Totally do. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock star. Totally do. This is a treat to myself. To some, it may be shocking that I would like this kind of music, but I do. I grew up with a headbanger. That's what this is called, headbanger music. My brother did this shit when I was a kid, so now it's my turn. And it makes me happy. It's like that's something I always wanted to do, but never was able to, and that's sing. And the one time that I got to, I wasn't even able to get the footage of it, so I could reflect back to when I was that skinny and I looked that good in that dress and I sang that song so beautifully, and I can't even get the video footage of it so that I could keep it on my computer and have it forever. I'm never going to have probably something like that again. So, and I was a teenager at the time and I was going to Rosemont. So that was not a fun experience for me. Um, some of it I got through okay. Some of it I didn't. That's Bella that just jumped up on the back there. I think Palika went down under the table here. I've been burning a money drawing candle every day. Oh no, here's Kara. Kalika over here. Yeah, I bet they are. I bet Kara and Sari are like, oh no, Janet's gone. Well, yeah, because I'm tired of Abacan, and it's a fucking piece of shit game that I have wasted a year already investing money into, and I can't even fucking use it. I can't. And it's not like they're going to give me that money back, because they won't. Even if they could, they won't. Instead, they find ways to charge even more money. Okay, try our VIP club. For $5.99, you can have the bronze level, and so what? You get to hang out in a fancy lobby. I mean, what does the VIP membership really get you? Other than, yeah, it might get you some game cash once a month, but depending on your spending habits, and of course, the younger you are, 13, 14, 15, you're just a bunch of punk kids that want a bunch of fun toys, and they want all the cool outfits, and they want all the cool thises and that's and rooms and whatever and pets and blah, 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 blah. Their own little clique of friends to hang around with, and us old fogies are just not worth their time. Well, newsflash, we feel the same way about you kids, because teens of today, let me just say this. I'm glad I'm not the mother of a teen, because I just don't think I would have the patience anymore. This I call my song. This is my theme, even though it was never written, and it's called Cemetery. And it, for me, symbolizes a great deal of sadness. Different times that I have felt let down by others, used by men. Um, because too many of them made me feel like they were only with me because they wanted a fuck toy or they wanted a fuck buddy or whatever, and having no respect for me whatsoever. And then I get somebody I've been 15 years with, and I feel like I'm just making more of a mess of things than I'm doing anything good. And sometimes I just want to run away and just get a break from it all and get my head on straight again. And maybe I would finally be able to quiet myself enough to get the right kind of inspiration that could help build the communication between us better, so there wouldn't be so many arguments and misunderstandings about stuff, that we could sit down like I'm talking to anybody right now that's listening to this or watching this. Not yelling, not screaming, not blaming, not cutting down each other and hurting each other and bringing each other to tears, because we both come from really messed up background situations and events that transpired that brought out the worst in us, in a sense. And then I forced us together by doing a True Love Come to Me spell, and it feels like at times it just blew up in my face. And not only did I hurt me, but I hurt others. And that don't make me feel very good. Um, I still have self-esteem issues. I still have extremes of feelings as far as like even teasing related stuff. Once it becomes sexual, I don't want to hear it. It's not funny to me, and I would appreciate it if people wouldn't do it around me because I've just been hurt too many times that way. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on now. It's like I feel bad because I'm just too much of a mess. I feel like I'm not any good for anybody, really. Um, that it's a struggle every day just to get through the day and not try to take myself out because I feel like the worthless piece of shit that can't do anything right. Oh, I hate those damn ads. Urgh. Music makes me happy, and yeah, I only have a couple of playlists on here, and I mix things in a weird way in which I hadn't. I wish I would have gave each because I've got disco music on here, you guys, because I was of the disco era. I liked the neon colors and the bright, wild, live loud and proud and fast and whatever. Um, and it's some of these songs I listened to them enough I can literally sing along with them like I wrote the song myself. And I know I didn't, and I would never claim to be the one to have written it. But this music is something I've never been able to do that I always wanted. And this is a young person that I can admire, and I happen to like his music because I relate to it. It touches a chord in me that no other music does because it's just part of the hundreds of little bits and pieces that make up me. Um, I know that Kid Spooky has his main focus and career is doing the investigations now, and I don't even know the last time he did any music. But I've had these playlists for probably a couple years now. It doesn't seem like that long at times, but then when I really think back on it, I'm like, no, yeah, it's been about that long because you lose all sense of time. Sometimes the stress levels are so high and so bad that you're getting depressed a lot, or you're not having energy during the day when you most need to have energy. Um, you end up having to devote several hours of your time, effort, and energy researching different fat burning foods and stuff out there on the market. Something I can go out and get with food stamps, bring it home, prepare me some meals, and just try my hand at that. See if I can lose weight by basically making up my own weight loss meals. But the only difference is I'm never going to turn it into a business or anything like that because then that requires vendor's license and probably a bunch of others I don't even know about anymore because people complain about people not working and not taking jobs when they're given, but when the jobs aren't there, what are you supposed to do? What are your options? I've even looked into trying to go do like a fall course somewhere or something, but none of like Columbus State is one of the closest places to where we're at, and I can't even do any classes there because I don't have my GED. And in order to get your GED, you have to take the test, you have to pay money for it. But if you don't do the free test enough until you ace it, so that you're only paying that amount one time, and I don't even want to think about how expensive it is to do that now. How much does it cost to get a GED? And what the hell is the purpose? To me, it's pointless. It's like those skills were eons ago when I was a teenager in high school. I'm 53 years old. Why do I need this fucking shit before I can go to a damn class somewhere? Or I can do a fall course, try a class or two and try to get some Pell grants or something if they even still exist, because those are grants you don't have to pay back. So not even a college will take me. And I'm sure that that's a big part of the reason why I ended up with Stratford, because It is a career institute, which I was never able to go to one when I was in Starling, when I could have, or not Starling, East High, because that's when my world came crashing down. And not only did I lose two guys, but one of them I lost through death, and the other one just simply broke my heart. Well, they both did, but one of them died when he was like 17. And when I found out about it, I cried and cried and cried, because I feel like that was just another chance that was taken away that I didn't deserve to have taken away any more than the kid that died did. We should have been able to stay together. We were happy. We got along really well. But his family wasn't having it, so they were determined that, no, this ain't going to happen. And they did everything to screw it up, and they succeeded. And I still have the memory of what he last looked like the last time I saw him live. That image is burnt into my memory for the rest of my life. Because there's no more Tommy Elkinses on this earth. There's no more Randy Nevilles. There's no more John Masons. There just isn't. And I don't like it here because of that. I'm tired of being so sad and feel so empty inside, because I feel like I'm failing somehow that I don't realize. And I just feel like, why am I here? What have I actually achieved? What have I actually succeeded in? I mean, yeah, I've kept this place for 15 years, but I only had it 7 months to myself. I had my freedom and my independence for 7 months, and then I just gave it up because I was trying my hand at love, and now I feel like I can't even get that right. So I'm just too much of a mess, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to try anymore. I don't know. I just pray for a good day and let everything go well and everybody get along and not hurt each other in some way. And now, I can't even put back any kind of savings because constantly having to use the money just to get the rent paid. Because I overcalculate or miscalculate or spend too much. And then when I think that I have a certain amount left, it turns out that I don't. And I'm like, okay, so where did that money go then? What the hell did I spend it on? Or did someone hack my shit and fucking spend it on something I didn't even spend it on? And now the money's just gone. That's all I need right now is fucking identity theft. No, thank you. I'm going through enough crap. I need some time to myself and just have very limited ways that I can pull that off. And Holly, let me just throw this in here. I don't know if you even are still subscribed to my channel, and if you've seen any of my latest attempts at apologizing, that I haven't watched any of your lives in a while, and I haven't seen you on mine in a while. I hope you're still doing well. Happy holidays to everybody. But right now I'm too overwhelmed with stuff going on around me that I can't do things on a consistent basis that I would like to do right now, like be able to do live streams more often, make sure that I make them meaningful in some ways, so that I don't feel like I'm just talking to a wall and nobody cares. I'm not trying to put my problems onto the world and say, here, solve this for me. I'm tired of trying. It's nothing like that at all. It's just, where do I go from here? What's the next logical step towards any kind of a career, any kind of a some kind of a creative thing, that I can even afford to do, that just feel like I'm not living at all. I'm not doing stuff that makes me happy because I'm bending over backwards trying to please everybody else and exhausting myself to the point of almost fearing that I'm going to fall asleep and go into a coma some night because I just can't take anymore. Um, just kind of went quiet there because I'm not trying to shake the hornet's nest, I'm not trying to stir anything up. I'm not trying to get myself in negative Nancy mode. I don't know what is going to be expected of me tomorrow. Or if maybe instead of going to mom's tomorrow, I just take a Janet day and just maybe go to the library or something. Use one of my little small soft cooler lunch bag thingies that I can take and pack me a lunch, and I guess start all the way back to first I have to find it. I think it's in this stack of books under here, unless it's got knocked somewhere. My sewing class book. Shut up and go away. But yeah, maybe I should just have a Janet day tomorrow instead. Which, just to give a recap in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, or certainly any new subscribers that I'm not even aware of yet. Hi, thank you for subscribing. Hope I'm not too boring for you, but this is just my way of trying to reach out to the world and share my own life experiences and stories in the hopes that I will inspire somebody or guide somebody to maybe try another path, try something that they've been too scared to try for whatever reason, just do it. Like me, for one, taking the basement back. Set things up back down there again, but this time just be more selective who I have down there with me. Try to keep my voice at what I would call normal level like it is now. I'm not talking loud. I'm not whispering. I'm just talking in a normal tone of voice. And that's also why I, make sure I keep the volume up on this thing, because I don't know what distance-wise. See, this is Hoosier now. Hoosier. I think it's called Hoosier. Sooner, if the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, fresh poison each week. We were born sick, you heard them say it. Our church offers no absolution. Tell me worship in the bedroom. Only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. 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 Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death, a good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog. Trying to be lies, I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that was death, oh good God, let me give you my life. I'm a pagan of the good times, my lover's the sunlight. Keep the goddess on my side, she demands a sacrifice. Drain the whole sea, get something shiny, something meaty for the main course. That's a fine looking high horse, what you got in the stable? With a lot of starving faithful, that looks tasty, that looks plenty, this is hungry work. You know, I mean, if you think about it, it's, to me, it sounds like someone that's trying to have a certain way of living, a certain lifestyle crammed down their throat that is not fair to them because it takes away their free will and right to choose if they want to be gay or if they want to be straight or if they want to be bi, or, they don't know what they are. Hoosier, I think, sings it very well. I like songs that, to me, you can actually apply to everyday life if you really think about the words. And I have the words to this song, but I don't listen to it every day to where I've got it burned in the brain to where I don't even have to look at the words anymore. But you go online to this place called Lyrics, or not Lyrics, but you can get the lyrics of a song, of just about any song, and it's got a long, nice music playlist. But I really like the song. This one, it talks about, and if you see the video, which I have seen before, it it ridicules those that choose to be gay and cuts them down and makes them feel like they're the scum of the earth because their beliefs are different, because their lifestyle is different, because they happen to like both, or they feel, even though they're a guy, they feel closer to other men. They want to have that kind of relationship. They don't want women. They have bad luck with women. Just like, some women end up turning gay because they have such bad luck with men. Because you can only be hurt so many times, and then you can't deal with it anymore. That's the kind of shit that ends up putting people in fucking hospital with a nervous breakdown or a fucking mental institution, and I don't want to be in either. Nervous breakdown would end up in the hospital, and if things didn't go well in the hospital, they would probably try to force me into something psychiatric. I used to love to ice skate to Hoosiers music. I still do, but I would play it in the background while I was on my IMVU and ice skate around my vampire mansion in a cool, um, like sexy out kind of Santa outfit type thing, and just ice skating around the outside of the place because it's so big. Um, if I took the time to like do it up for the holidays, I could probably literally take a section and do each season. Like the first section, the one closest to the mansion, even if it was closer to like the side of the mansion. The one I'm speaking about, that is my absolute favorite vampire mansion on there because I have a past history with some people that I met in that same room, but his name, he goes by AZ. I know his real name in real life, but I do not divulge it here because that to me would be inappropriate unless I asked his permission first and got the okay from him that, yeah, go ahead, it's no problem. See if maybe he would join my channel because he's an officer. I don't know if he's on a tour somewhere. I don't know if he's helping with peace talks, or because like one of the last times I talked to him on there, he was in some other country or something. I was like, what? What are you doing there? But he was doing something that, he's like, well, I'm in this, or I'm a soldier, or whatever he was. And I was like, what? I did not even know that. But anyway, the outside of the mansion, up close to it, I would do the first theme that I would focus on in that area there would be Halloween. And then that would involve a lot of, I'd have to go in, I'd have to take all the stuff out of there that's in there. except for the dancers, because they're the same dancers, but one of them is vampiric and the other is ghostly. And then I have two other couple dances that it's just a repeat dance that they do, and one of them's a waltz and one of them's something else, part of the fun of IMVU for me. But one of my favorite things to do was play Hoosier and have my headphones on and be on my IMVU ice skating around my vampire mansion, outside, and having friends to do it with and enjoy it with. And then when the friends suddenly just weren't there anymore, I made my own, which involved having a separate computer. Therefore, I could have a separate account on that computer, so that when I wanted to have somebody to hang out with, even if it was just myself, which it sounds weird, but I made a different account on a different computer and it worked. So if I want to have a best friend day or something, and I don't really feel like going outside because the weather's yucky or it's rainy or cold or whatever, snowing or whatever. Because so far we've only got flurries, we haven't gotten any that's stuck to the ground, I don't think, significantly, because the ground has to be a serpent, listen to me, a certain temperature of cold. My serpent must be around me. Hi, honey. Yes, you can move yourself around. You can crawl around my arms as long as you let me know ahead of time so I can get used to the feeling of what that'll feel like. Because I had snakes in life. They were live snakes. And she is too, but she's a spirit. I forget her name. But I believe she's a snake. Aren't you? Aren't you some kind of serpent-like? And I'm sorry, honey, I forget your name again. Forgive me, but you understand my memory is just not so great. Never has been, really. I mean, there may have been a time when it was okay. But yeah, there was one of the songs that Hoosier does is called Movement. And oh my God, it is such a beautiful song. Love the sound of his voice. Like I said, I have Justin Timberlake on here, Kid Spooky, and weirdly enough, I ended up mixing the Hoosier play tracks with Kid Spooky. I'm like, oh man, because I was new at it. I didn't separate it, like have a Hoosier file and have, a disco file and whatever. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to you. He says her, but I say you. Phillips found me. I was 3 days on drunken sin. Her arms around me, but an empty crib. It's up a fever. Much how long I lived. I dreamed her the wrong I did. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to you. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to you. Fret none, let my body done. Give me baby, and my baby will have me. My baby, love down soft and sweet. Words to me. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. Crawl home to you. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. Crawl home to you. crawl home to you. Now, to me, that's like true love. So even if your body dies, your soul would still find its way home. You know, the grave wouldn't be able to keep you separated from the person you truly loved. Oh, this is called Do I Want to Know? This one starts out kind of quiet too. You got color in your cheeks. This is a song recently that some artists redid. And they put more of a, like oh God, how would you say it? Anyway, if you listen to the song through, you can find it because other artists have copied it. Because when it plays on our radio, on the radio station we listen to, um, it's like this to me. This one's the best version, though. This one's my favorite version. It's called "Do I Want to Know If the Feeling Goes Both Ways." Sad to see you go. Sort of wishing you would stay, or hoping you'd stay, or something like that. It's real cute. Do I wanna know if this feeling goes both ways? Sad to see you go. Sorta hoping that you'd stay. Darling, we both know that the nights make me make the same things that you can't say for our days. Crawling back to you. Of the thought you had a few, always do. Maybe I'm too busy being not yours to fall for somebody new. I thought it through. So I'm not sure if this is about love lost, or it kind of sounds like it is. It's kind of one of the sadder ones, but I'm sure a lot of us can relate because of bad relationships, others have gotten and had and stumbled into, and sometimes doing a true love come to me spell that just blows up in your face because there's too much negative and not enough positive a lot of times. And but anyway, this stuff I've said a million times. I won't say again. But again, I'm circled back around to where to go from here. Um, Somebody I thought it through, calling back to you. See? Never thought of calling when you had a few, 'cause I always did. Ooh. Eek. Maybe I'm too busy being yours. Jeff Peanut Butter. Somebody new. Now I thought it through, calling back to you. Never thought of calling when big, you had a few. Brand new jar. 'Cause I always do. Maria gave it to me today. Or yesterday.
Take home a souvenir for $6. Follow your team wherever they go.
child, I heard voices. Some would sing and some would scream. Trying to have a healthy snack. But as you know, when it comes to peanut butter, you have to be careful. Because if you eat too much of it, it stops you up. But to me, it's the equivalent of having a Snickers bar just without the peanuts, the nougat, and the chocolate. It's just straight up peanut butter. My favorite peanut butter is honey roasted. Some of the songs, it sounds better a little loud. Some of it sounds better a little lower. And it is 10:30, so when it starts getting this time of night, I try to keep the music down. Because there are people in this building that do work, so they have to get up in the morning. And even though supposedly there is a degree of soundproof in here, I can always tell when Chris is jamming or he's watching videos or some kind of movie or something, because as soon as I walk in the building downstairs, I hear it. Filling me a hunger spot without eating anything too fattening. But, definitely make sure you drink plenty of liquid before going to bed when you eat peanut butter, because then you don't want it being miserable in the morning. Anyway. Well, one of the things that I did ask for, put out into the universe, that is manifesting, and that is to keep myself stocked with this, even though it's little bits here, little bits there. Oh, excuse me. Because, like I said, I found out Darell smokes it, so he's been coming around more often. And if I can talk it over with Maria and she's willing to do it, maybe start, having our little visit session down in the basement. But again, but this time, try to be more careful, try to, keep the noise down to a minimum, try not to get too loud to where it's like reverberating throughout the whole building and people start complaining because somebody's being too loud. Meow. Hello. Lay down, please. And Kalika has this bad habit. She likes to get on my abundance altar over here. I don't want her on it. But, yeah, I haven't figured out how to do that, so I won't be able to like my own video until it's, I've decided that I'm done with my live stream for this round. But to me, this is kind of like a universal phone call of sorts to my subs that know me well enough. They liked some of the content I've had on here, at least in the past. But I can't even figure out how to get into my comments section anymore to be able to read them. So I can only apologize to people for any that I haven't responded to, but if that's the case, that's why. It's not because I was just suddenly ignoring my friends and people that apparently think enough of me and enough of my content that they watch, And Grace, she says that she watches all my videos. I'm like, okay, good. I appreciate that. I don't know if Stephanie ever joined and subscribed or not, because Chris said there is a way that you can find out who your subs are. Because I'm just curious, even if it's a nickname or a made up name because the person doesn't want their true identity known. I don't care, as long as it's chill, and it's somebody that actually does know me, that maybe knows a friend of mine, and oh yeah, go over and check out Janet's channel. She gets some interesting stuff on there from time to time. But right now, all I have is the randoms, because a lot of times I never know what to expect from the day. From the time I open my eyes, my first thought is get my butt up, try to get myself into, brushing my teeth in the morning again and doing the mouth rinse thing and then brushing my hair. See, now it starts the disco stuff. So I wish I would have taken my Hoosier songs, gave them their own folder. My Justin Timberlake, I did do that. It's the only one, because now it went from Kid Spooky to Hoosier to disco because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to navigate SoundCloud. I didn't know how to make up a playlist. I mean, yeah, I've made up some decent ones on IMVU, but it costs you 700 credits for one damn song, y'all. And to me, that's a little bit on the ridiculous side. So you can imagine, yeah, I might have a lot of mixes, but it's mostly repeats of songs all the way back to the very first one I made. And I think that's one of the things that IMVU should really drop that price down to like 100 credits or 50 credits or something instead of 700 for one song. Do you realize how much it would take to build up that kind of not only IMVU game money, but to get the cool rooms and the outfits and stuff? Like, I've got 2 fucking Lamborghinis or something, I think it is. One of them's pink and the other one is like white or something. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been on IMVU, but I've got, literally, if I'm ice skating in one of my properties, in one of my rooms, because I've got this beautiful cabin that's a winter scene anyway, and my ice skating area was out back, but I also had it out front, and I also had this big snow hill that you could slide down, because that's part of how I was exploring with the dimensions of how much space I had to put stuff like that on before, like, basically you run into the wall of the game and it's like, okay, you can't go any further. This is the end point. I've had skating rinks in the front. I've got this one. Oh yeah, this is like something you would hear if you went to a disco. They don't play a song all the way through. They'll play one song and it'll fade into another one, and then, but that was how they did disco. Because this is a DJ. Wonder Mike, say hello. And I mean, disco for me brings back a happier time in my life when it was actually not so bad being a kid, or it wasn't so bad being a teenager even, because I had everything I could possibly want or need. I mean, yeah, a lot of the stuff I had to work for, but that's part of life. You can't be born into this world with a silver spoon in your mouth all the time and then just get used to everything being given to you, whether you deserve it or not, because you're a spoiled brat. And sadly, that's how a lot of the rich people, that's how some of their households are. I'm not saying all of them, but look about how many movies we've had about that very thing. Princess Diaries, she's this typical kid. Her dad's this high fucking position in this Senate thing or whatever. I mean, and he tries to develop a relationship with his daughter. Oh, there goes my freaking peanut butter. Just took a nosedive off the couch. I did not do that. Apparently somebody... Ladybug? Oh my gosh, it's Ladybug. Look out. I don't want that to bust open. It's my... This thing's heavy. It's not easy to pick up. Like I said, it's like they're full to the top. The spirit of my dog, Ladybug, which was, yeah, hi girl, I know it's you. I know you're here. Love you. She may have hopped up on the couch or something, or she knocked the peanut butter off so I would know that it was her. That's her way of going, hey, guess who? But Ladybug, she was a very unique mix. She had some Cocker Spaniel in her. She was about a medium-sized dog. She had this beautiful tail that had fringe that hung down from the bottom of it, and it kind of curled up like this. She had floppy ears, and she was a blonde. She had a really light-colored fur, and she had some white on her too, I think. I got her as a puppy when I was a little girl, and one of the Christmases, we first met the Chapman family. We were living at Wedgwood at the time, which back then it was called Westgate Manor. They had an above-ground swimming pool that was only for the people, I think, that lived there kind of thing. The only way an outsider could get in is if somebody lived there and had a friend that was an outsider, then they might allow those people in, but they were very limited to what they would allow. And the whole pool was fenced. So not everybody was permitted to go in there. And now that place has gone to HE double toothpicks in a handbasket, and there's a lot of bad stuff going on over there now. And I heard tell that a lot of the buildings got tore down because of bed bugs. They just infested so many of them. They had no choice. It became a serious health hazard. And I mean, that's up there with putting a baby in a crib and you wake up the next day and it's dead and it's got rat bites all over it and it's been drained of all its blood, and God knows what kind of nastiness was in that rat's mouth when it started biting that baby. And I've seen stories like that. It's not a good thing. It's not healthy. It's not safe. They have since filled in the pool. It's just a grassy area now. They've never had another pool there again. And I think they call the place Wedgwood now. And I wouldn't live there if somebody paid me, We're still looking at a place in the country, but the tricky part now seems to be finding something that Chris is going to be satisfied and happy enough with, that isn't going to be too far away from my mom, but it'll still be the type of country setting he wants, that we all want, because it's going to be me, him, and Maria. We're tired of the city. We're done with the city. We want some ease of the country. We want forests for a yard, and have a nice little porch to sit on and watch the wildlife walk by, and take some really nice pictures. I mean, like tomorrow, most likely I'm going to be taking pictures of the tree because Maria's already asked me to. That way I can download them onto here. I can also use my phone and take some pictures of it on that, so I can send the picture to her so she can maybe use it as a wallpaper or something if she wants. I opened the door in the temple room so that the fairies could come out and enjoy the tree. And if that tree ends up staying plugged in all night, oh well. I'll just make sure that it's unplugged tomorrow sometime if I go down there. Because I doubt I will, because most likely when I get up, probably around noon, I'm going to be getting up and I'm going to be getting myself ready and deciding what I'm going to have as a Janet Day this time. Where am I going to do? What am I going to do? What's within my limits to do? So obviously it's going to have to be something that doesn't involve money, because I have none. And that's why I thought, well, always have the option of going over there and hanging out at mom's for a little bit because that gives her some company. It gives somebody there to cook for her when she's hungry, to just talk to her, so she don't have to talk to the four walls because Jim, once again, is too busy to do anything. But, he does so much stuff that he leaves mom by the wayside. And he's on the lease. That don't seem very fair to me. He does pay his half of the rent, which is a good thing. But even the amount that my mom is paying, the only reason why she was able to get a lower amount that she pays every month is because it was her and Jim's pastor from their church, Pastor Toby. He's known by, but apparently that's not actually his name. Just everybody calls him Pastor Toby, so that he just goes with it. It's like, okay, I didn't know that, but okay. It's a property that he himself owns, and his house is further back. Like when you're standing literally in front of my mom's house, her porch is little. I've had it on other live streams. If you've seen, like for Halloween, if you saw the Halloween one, it was this laptop. That was the side porch. That had the swing on it. That had the little rocking chair. That had the chair that I was trying to sit in. And when Alicia finally showed up and she put her dress on, and Chris did get a good picture of her and me on my phone that I'm still trying to figure out how to make it my wallpaper. So even if it's like an oddball holiday or it's a month where there's no holiday, I want that to be my wallpaper, just because it's kind of my way of having my daughter with me throughout the day in a non-invasive way, and it's attached to a happy memory. So anyway, the pastor, when you're standing looking in, like your back is here. This is the front of you. You're looking at the front of my mom's house. If you go to the right, there's a long driveway. You go to the end of that driveway. That's Pastor Toby's house. So mom's house is here. His is right here. It's just further back. And then next to him, there's another house that belongs to a guy named Joe, ex-cop, does stuff for Toby. He knows Toby. His mom lives in that house, and it's right next to basically Pastor Toby. So mom got a good deal, and I prayed very hard. I did my part magically to ask the universe to bless her and Jim with that house, and they got it. Because I remember that was one of the places that me and Chris was looking at, but we knew we could never afford because the rent on those places go for $1,400 a month. $1,400 a month, people. It's in the middle of the city. It's close enough to downtown Columbus. It's basically about a 30 to 45 minute drive, and you're right down there in Columbus, in the middle. 20 minutes, whatever. Like right now, they have the nativity scene up downtown. I've already seen that. One of the times me and Chris was out, we went to Micro Center or something, and when we were coming back, when we hit up Broad Street, we drove right by where they do the nativity scene downtown. They also have this other area, if they're still doing it, which I haven't gone over there to see, but I might do it this year if it's not too cold out. Because if it's too cold out, then I'm not going. I'm not doing it because me and the cold temperatures don't get along very well. I would have to have thermals on, sweatpants over top of that, a shirt that's equally that warm. Like I have this one sweater that's the real pretty Christmassy sweater. It's perfect. I don't need a t-shirt under that thing. But in the wintertime, maybe. I don't know. I won't know until I try wearing it without a t-shirt on underneath it in like some really cold, frigid, like when we have our first real snow this year. Which to me, that will be the snow that I would love. When it sticks to the ground, especially if several inches fall. Go out there and build a snowman, because that's something that I haven't done in a long time. And to be honest, I don't remember ever making a snowman. Usually it was other people that I knew that would do it. And maybe light up the fire pit out there or something, and have a little powwow in a section of the yard that never gets used. but it's very open. It's not fenced in, which if it was fenced in, Mom would probably feel a little bit safer about sitting out there. But as far as I know, she don't even sit on what is actually the front porch, because the front porch of her house is tiny. 2 chairs and a table that's about maybe this wide fits on that. You couldn't really get much more than that. Now, during the summertime, during the warmer months, spring and summer, especially when the weather's nice, you could have people sitting around the front porch, but they would have to sit in the grass, because more than 3 or 4 people on that front porch, it starts getting crowded. Now, the side porch is even worse because more space is taken up by my mother's swing, which you saw on the live stream, anybody that saw the live stream for Halloween, and the rocking chair, which Maria was primarily sitting in. And then I was sitting in a plastic chair by one of the tables. Yeah, I mean, I was very happy when we found out that Mom and Jim got that place, because when we saw it, we were like, oh, isn't this one of the ones that we were looking at, that we were trying to get? I thought it was. Or one that we liked when we saw it when we walked by before we got a car. Jim has been doing like the outdoor decorations this year. So far, he's got icicles up, on a partial set of icicles up. Well, actually, it's a full set, but he ended up with a large gap on one end because of the way he had to string them up to be able to plug them into extension cords so they light up at night. They don't have the luxury of having any of the inflatables, I don't think, which is sad, because it would be nice to be able to put something like that up. But the most that we can hope for is a pretty Christmas tree in front of the window that goes out to the front of the house, so that when people drive by, they can see the tree. Mom has been getting overly anxious about, she wants the tree up right now, right now, right now, right now. Jim is trying to wait until the 15th of December, which is Naomi's birthday. And those of you that know the Naomi Chronicles and how badly they went and ended, the 22nd of December this year will be exactly a year that my mom has been at that place where she's at now, the new place. The one that I remember thinking, I wish Mom and Jim would get that place, because I just think that they would really like it. And they ended up exactly doing that. They ended up getting it. They're closer to us. It takes virtually no time at all to drive. Now, walking it, I haven't tried yet because it's too cold and there's too many jackrabbits around here that, you know, that fire off guns in the middle of the day, and to where you're to the point to where you're even afraid to let your cat out in the middle of the day because you don't want someone shooting him. I mean, it's dangerous around here, and we've been putting up with it for 15 years so far, however long. It's probably even more by now, but I just got 15 fixated in my head. So
15 December 19th.
15 December 19th of this year. So, but anyway, so the 22nd of December last year, Chris and Maria and Stephanie, they got Mom moved in like jiffy quick, like within, I don't know, a week and a half. I don't know, some crazy number. I mean, it was like boom, 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 boom. But I was 4 days down in Kentucky at that time, so I didn't actually help with any of the moving, and I felt absolutely horrible because my mom still saw fit to give me $100, and I felt like I did nothing to deserve it. Hell no! She gave you 100, and she gave me 100, and she gave Stephanie 100.
Well, she gave you 100.
She gave you 100.
I said I don't know why she gave you 100.
Exactly. That's what I was saying, doofy. If you'd listen, I feel bad enough. Because I didn't help the move. I didn't bust my butt, and she still saw fit to give me $20 or $100. I wasn't about to turn it down because I can't afford to live.
Yeah, I think you did help for like 2 days or something like that. That's it.
Didn't seem like it to me.
You were there for 1 or 2 days before you left.
So anyway, the 15th is also Naomi's birthday. And because she is the cruel, heartless, soulless, B-I-T-C-H, psycho B-I-T-C-H from H-E double toothpicks, and she kicked our mom out last winter, in really, really bad weather. And Chris and everybody that did actually do the majority of the help and got Mom moved in, they got her moved in quickly. And I think it's only fitting because of the negative of what Naomi did being balanced out by purposely waiting until the 15th, her birthday, to put up the tree as a way of going right back at you. And not in a good way, because she's psycho. She's dangerous. She is cruel and heartless and soulless. She's narcissistic, and on and on and on and on. So everybody in the family have all agreed that we did absolutely everything we could to help that woman. And she basically spat it back in our face. She divorces the family, and now all of a sudden she's going by the name of Mabius on Facebook. Why? She hates us. Why would she take our last name? Makes no sense to me. So, and Jim wants to prolong the life of the tree. He wants to make sure that it's still going to be nice and alive and fresh and green all the way up to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Yule, which is before Christmas Eve and Day, and New Year's Eve. And then probably after New Year's Eve is when the tree will come down and probably get put outside for the birds. Because what they usually try to do is they'll lean it up against a fence or something. And they do have some fences on the property, or they can always lean it up against one of the trees right next to the house, the Breckenridge place that somebody got. And we ended up meeting the realtors that ended up handling the property, because the sister of the lady that lived there is the one that she didn't really wasn't so concerned about the money. She just wanted to be rid of the property. So somebody did get it, but I guess they still have a long way to go before the person can take occupancy or whatever. And I just hope that they're really nice people, that they're good neighbors, that they're maybe, somebody that Mom can develop a friendship with, that isn't going to do her wrong. Just truly really good people, like we used to have back in the day before we realized the poisonous snakes they were, and they bit us. But genuinely good people like us, because I think Mom deserves that after all the crap she put up with because of Naomi, all the years that she put up with it. And tried to keep her sanity as much as possible. But in reality, you can tell where it's like sometimes she's here, sometimes she's somewhere else. She repeats herself a lot because her memory is failing. She's 91 years old. Her body is aging. So her brain functions are changing and everything else, So somehow I have to gradually work an hour and a half back up to the 3-hour bracket, at least 3 hours. And I've already asked her, and she didn't say no, so I don't know if that means yes. I will clarify it when it's closer to the time and say Brooke gets me a message or something and says, hey, Mama, I'm sending you the stock now. It'll be in this package. Don't mistake it for your Christmas present. So whatever the Christmas parcel is that she's going to send, I'm hoping she'll do it all in one box if she can. So that's one price, one time. That's not several boxes that she has to pay separately for just to get them here. Because I don't know exactly how steep the shipping prices are to get something from London, England to here, but it's not cheap. Because the stock, we don't have to worry about taking possession of. Because she said she's going to wait till the first of the year, and that's fine. We know and understand that she is going through a lot right now. She's trying to find a place, and I don't even know if she's had a chance to get out and even look. She's trying to raise her boys. She's trying to do her shop and on TikTok, and trying to do well with that. And she keeps reducing the prices on things, and I don't even want to think about how much money she's losing because of her compassion and understanding of just how rough it is for a lot of us to live, even there in England, that aren't pooping $100 bills out our wazoo every 5 minutes, to where we got a few grand in a couple hours, It's 11 o'clock. Right now I'm trying to gauge if there was any like little let's make it fun tidbits of something I wanted to put on here. I know one. Because some of us, I'm not saying who exactly, because I'm not really particularly doing it, but it's funny. I've never been in a book club in my life. But sometimes just for fun and experimental purposes, I will randomly read out of books. Because just to make it more interesting, give you some food for thought. It's like, okay, I'm done yammering about my life. Let's do something fun. Acknowledgements. We'll start here. I'll turn this down to where it's more like you can barely hear it kind of thing, so I can read out loud and still hear that. Do you believe in magic? This is one of the books by Rhonda Byrne that has helped me greatly. And maybe it will help somebody that's never read these books. They've always been curious about them, but never bought them. They're worth it. This one made me cry. But it wasn't for a bad reason. It was a clarification of something that I don't feel I get enough from family and loved ones and stuff. And I'm not saying they don't try, because they do. And I try too, but things are just such a mess right now. I'm just trying to keep my head above water like so many. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Remember when you were a child and you looked at life in total wonder and awe? Life was magical and exciting, and the smallest things were utterly thrilling to you. You were fascinated by the frost on the grass, a butterfly flittering through the air, or any strange leaf or rock on the ground. You were full of excitement when you lost a tooth, because it meant the tooth fairy would be coming that night, and you would count down the days to that magical night of Christmas. Christmas, even though you had no idea how Santa Claus could get to every child in the world in one night. Somehow he did it, and he never let you down. Reindeer could fly. There were fairies in the garden. Pets were like people. Toys had personalities. Dreams came true, and you could touch the stars. Your heart was full of joy. Your imagination knew no limits, and you believed that life was magical. There is an exquisite feeling many of us had as children, that everything is good, that every day promises more excitement and adventure, and that nothing could ever thwart our joy for the magic of it all. But somehow, as we grew into adults, responsibilities, problems, and difficulties took their toll on us. We became disillusioned, and the magic we once believed in as children faded and disappeared. It's one of the reasons why, as adults, we love to be around children, so that we can experience that feeling we once had, even if it's just for a moment. I am here to tell you that the magic you once believed in is true, and it's the disillusioned adult perspective of life that is false. The magic of life is real, and it's as real as you are. In fact, life can be far more wondrous than you ever thought it was as a child, and more breathtaking, awe-inspiring, and exciting than anything you've seen before. When you know what to do to bring forth the magic, you will live the life of your dreams. Then you will wonder how you ever could have given up in believing in the magic of life. You may not see reindeer fly, but you will see the things you've always wanted appearing before your eyes. And you will see the things you've dreamed of for so long suddenly happening. You will never know exactly how everything weaved together for your dreams to come true, because magic works in the invisible realm, and that's the most thrilling part. Are you ready to experience the magic again? Are you ready to be filled with awe and wonder every day like when you were a child? Get ready for the magic. Our adventure begins 2,000 years ago when life-changing knowledge was hidden within a sacred text. A great mystery is revealed. The following passage comes from the Gospel of Matthew in the Holy Scriptures, and it has mystified, confused, and been misunderstood by many people over the centuries. Whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. You have to admit that when you read the passage, it appears unjust, as it seems to be saying that the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. But there's a riddle to be solved in this passage, a mystery to uncover, and when you know it, a new world will have opened up for you. The answer to the mystery that has eluded so many for centuries is in one hidden word: gratitude. Whoever has gratitude will be given more, and he or she will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what he or she has will be taken from him or her. By the revelation of one hidden word, a cryptic text is made crystal clear. 2,000 years have passed since those words were recorded, but they are as true today as they ever were. If you don't take the time to be grateful, you will never have more. And what you do have, you will lose. And the promise of the magic that will happen with gratitude is in these words. If you're grateful, you will be given more, and you will have an abundance. From the Quran, the promise of gratitude is equally emphatic. And remember, when God proclaimed, "If you are grateful, I will give you more. But if you are ungrateful, verily, my punishment is indeed severe." It doesn't matter what religion you follow or whether you're religious or not. These words from the Holy Scriptures and the Quran apply to you and your life. They are describing a fundamental law of science and of the universe. It's universal law. Gratitude operates through a universal law that governs your whole life. According to the law of attraction, which governs all the energy in our universe, from the formation of an atom to the movement of the planets. Like attracts like. It's because of the law of attraction that the cells of every living creature are held together, as well as the sustenance of every material object. Of every material object in your life. The law operates on your thoughts and feelings because they are energy too. And so whatever you think, whatever you feel, you will attract to you. If you think, "I don't like my job. I haven't got enough money. I can't find my perfect partner. I can't pay my bills. I think I'm coming down with something. He or she doesn't appreciate me. I don't get along with my parents. My child is a problem. My life is a mess. Or my marriage is in trouble." Then you must attract more of those experiences. But if you think about what you're grateful for, like, I love my job. My family is very supportive. I had the best vacation. I feel amazing today. I got the biggest tax refund ever. Or, I had a great weekend camping with my son. And you sincerely feel the gratitude. The law of attraction says you must attract more of those things into your life. It works in the same way as metal being drawn to a magnet. Your gratitude is magnetic. And the more gratitude you have, the more abundance you magnetize. It is universal law. You will have heard sayings like, whatever goes around comes around. You reap what you sow, and you get what you give. Well, all of those sayings are describing the same law, and they're also describing a principle of the universe that the great scientist Sir Isaac Newton discovered. Newton's scientific discoveries included the fundamental laws of motion in the universe, one of which says, every action always has an opposite and equal reaction. When you apply the idea of gratitude to Newton's law, it says, every action of giving thanks always causes an opposite reaction of receiving. And what you receive will always be equal to the amount of gratitude you've given. This means that the very action of gratitude sets off a reaction of receiving. And the more sincerely and the more deeply grateful you feel, in other words, the more gratitude you give, the more you will receive. The golden thread of gratitude, dating back thousands and thousands of years to the earliest recordings of humankind, the power of gratitude was preached and practiced, and from there was passed on through the centuries. Sweeping across the continents, permeating one civilization and culture to the next, the major religions of Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Hinduism all have gratitude at their core. Muhammad said that gratitude for the abundance you've received is the best insurance that the abundance will continue. Buddha said that you have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy. Blllaaazzzeee said that if you rejoice in the way things are, the whole world will belong to you. Krishna said that whatever he is offered, he accepts with joy. King David spoke of giving thanks to the whole world, for everything between the heavens and the earth. And Yehoshua says, thank you before he performed each miracle. From the Australian Aborigines to the African Maasai and Zulu, from the American Navajo, Shawnee, and Cherokee, to the Tahitians, Eskimo, and Maori, the practice of gratitude is at the very root of most indigenous traditions. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life and strength. Give thanks for your food and the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies with yourself. History is laden with famous figures who practiced gratitude and whose achievements put them amongst the greatest human beings who have ever lived. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., the Dalai Lama, Leonardo da Vinci, Plato, Shakespeare, Aesop, Blake, Emerson, Dickens, Proust, Descartes, Lincoln, Young, Newton, Einstein, and many, many more. Albert Einstein's scientific discoveries changed the way we see the universe. And when we asked about his monumental achievements, he spoke only of giving thanks to others. One of the most brilliant minds of all time thanked other people over 100 times a day for the work they had done. Is it any wonder that so many of life's mysteries were revealed to Albert Einstein? Is it any wonder that Albert Einstein made some of the greatest scientific discoveries in history? He practiced gratitude every single day of his life, and in return, he received many forms of abundance. When Isaac Newton was asked how he had achieved the scientific discoveries he made, he said that he stood on the shoulders of giants. Isaac Newton, recently voted the greatest contributor to science and humankind, was also grateful to those men and women who lived before him. The scientists, philosophers, inventors, discoverers, and prophets who practice gratitude reaps its results. And most were aware of its inherent power. Yet still gratitude's power is unknown to most people today, because to experience the magic of gratitude in your life, you have to practice it. There's only 2 more pages before the next section, so I'll go ahead and read those because it won't take long. They're small, like sentences and paragraphs. My discovery. My story is a perfect example of what life is like when a person is ignorant of gratitude, and what happens when you make gratitude a part of your life. If I had been asked 6 years ago if I was a grateful person, I would have answered yes, for sure. I'm a grateful person. I say thank you when I receive a gift, when someone opens a door for me, or when a person does something for me. The truth is, I was not a grateful person at all. I didn't know what being grateful really meant. And just saying the words thank you on the odd occasion certainly didn't make me a grateful person. My life without gratitude was perfectly challenging. I was in debt, and it was increasing a little bit more every month. I worked really hard, but my finances never improved. In trying to keep up with the mounting debt and obligations, I was living with a continuous undercurrent of stress. My relationships swung like a pendulum from fair to disastrous because I never seemed to have enough time for each person. While I was what would be termed healthy, I felt exhausted at the end of each day, and I always got my fair share of colds and the latest illnesses going around each season. I had moments of happiness when I went out with friends or when I went on vacation, but then the reality of having to work harder to pay for those pleasures would sweep over me. I wasn't living, I was surviving from day to day and from paycheck to paycheck. Sound familiar? And I would no sooner solve one life problem than more problems would appear. But then something happened that would change everything in my life from that day forward. I discovered a secret about life, and as a result of my discovery, one of the things I began to do was practice gratitude each day. As a result of this, everything in my life changed, and the more I practiced gratitude, the more miraculous were the results. My life truly became magical. For the first time in my life, I became debt-free, and shortly after that, I had all the money I needed to do whatever I wanted. Problems in my relationships, work, and health disappeared. And instead of facing daily obstacles, my days became filled with one good thing after another. My health and energy increased dramatically, and I felt better than I had in my 20s. My relationships became much more meaningful, and I enjoyed more good times with my family and friends in just a few months than I had in all the previous years. More than anything else, I felt happier than I thought it was possible to feel. I was blissfully happy, the happiest I had ever been. Gratitude changed me, and my whole life magically changed with it. The first time I read this book, and I got to that one section, which is like the very last little thing that they have in here. They have you do. Let's see if I can find it. Magic never ends. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, it was talking about the one who most deserves acknowledgement is you, meaning whoever the person was that was reading it at the time. Oops. Oh well, I only needed a piece. Okay, so that'll give you something to chew on a little bit. Now this is like totally a flip side, but it also has its degree of positivity. And I absolutely love this book. And Brooke, honey, if you don't have it already, you definitely should get it. I recommend it. It's called Goth Craft, The Magical Side of Dark Culture. Now, remember, dark culture, not black, not necessarily people that strictly do satanic bullcrap or anything like that. In the very front of this book are two prayers. One is to the Dark Mother, and one is to the Dark Father. Now, if you listen to the words, I think you will agree there is nothing negative really about this. They're not talking about slitting people's throats or giving bloody sacrifices or any crap like that. Behold, she who holds the mysteries I seek under shroud of night. Nocturnal mistress, I fear thee not. I call thee forth with love and humility. Hail the Dark Mother, she who turns the wheel, she who is the shadow tide, she whose mysteries are the blood, she who is the moon eclipsed. O Dark Mother, she who is known by many names, Hecate, Persephone, Caradwyn, Rhiannon, Ershkigal, Lilith, Babylon, Hell, and Kali Ma. Descend upon me this dark eve, consume my fear and inhibitions. Be at my side as I dare to see the unseen. Let me know thine ways of nocturnal grace. Surround my soul as I tread your infinite waters. Accompany my rites this eve in balance and in wisdom. I call thee forth, my mother, my sister, my matrix. Hail and welcome, so mote it be. Call to the Dark Father. Behold, he who holds the mysteries I seek under shroud of night. Nocturnal master, I fear thee not. I call thee forth with love and humility. Hail the Dark Father, he who oversees the falling of all things great and small. He who is the shadow having come from sun's light. He who is the sun eclipsed. O Dark Father, he who is known by many names. Osiris, Anubis, Hades, Pluto, Pan, Dionysus, Baphomet, Cernunnos, and Moors. Descend upon me this dark eve. Devour my trepidations and fright. Be at my side as I dare to feel the unfelt. Let me know thine ways of dark enchantment. Enter my world as I journey your endless terrain. Accompany my rites this eve in truth and in steadfast devotion. I call thee forth, my father, my brother, my patrix. Hail and welcome, so mote it be. Now, I don't know about you, but those are some really beautiful poems to the Gothic mother and father, the Dark Mother and Father. Don't fear the dark, but don't stumble down a path that leads you to something dangerous or disastrous or something that when it's too late and you realize you can't turn around and go back and you're pretty much done for and you're SCREWED. Yeah, not a fun place to be. First chapter, Goth. This is why I love this book. Pagan practice and the Gothic lifestyle are different for everyone. Each person gets something out of each lifestyle that others may not. I can say only so much about each without generalizing about the whole. These lifestyles carry a different message for each person, and it would be foolish to generalize about a movement as diverse as Goth or pagan culture. However, there are a few points that must be conveyed in order to more easily classify and recognize aspects of each movement. What's a Goth? Alternative culture is the result of similar energy patterns coming together, kinship being found, and the disassociated once again becoming united. One of these alternative neo-cultures is the dark art or dark cider community, many of whose members consider themselves to be part of the modern goth subculture. The terms goth and gothic have been in use only since the 1970s to describe people belonging to a particular subcultural faction. Goths can be described in a number of ways, but let's begin with the origins of the word itself. Historical Goths. A tribe called the Goths originated in present-day Gotland, Sweden, Gotland, in the 1st century BCE, and later made their way through Europe all the way to Spain. By the 3rd century BCE, they split off into the Ostrogoths, Eastern Goths, and Visigoths, Western Goths. I will use the spelling Gothic, Thick, to distinguish the historical tribal Goths from the 19th century Romantics and modern Goths. One Germanic tribe or another seemed to be constantly invading Rome. Integration occurred between the Romans and the Germanic tribes over time. Though the two peoples were fighting, much of their cultures became intertwined through alliances, including the fostering of numerous sons and daughters. The Visigoths' infamous sacking of Rome occurred in 410 CE. The Goths were originally uncivilized heathens, meaning they did not live in a city, and they had a similar god structure of that of the Norse and other Germanic tribes. Before the rise of the church, they saw no separation between their ways and those of others. The Goths were one of the last European tribes to want to remain nomadic, traveling, rather than become citizens of a political empire. The majority of the tribes that wished not to become part of the greater Roman political structure saw the system itself as a violation of their freedom. As those in Roman rulership were believed to have the mandate of the gods, particularly if a pure tribal bloodline was maintained, every tribal culture that became a part of this political empire was absorbed, losing a great deal of its former culture. With the coming of each generation, more and more of the former tribal ways were lost, replaced by the greater government's unionized system. It is for this reason that so much animosity existed between the tribes and the city-states. Nancy Kilpatrick, author of the Goth Bible, which I also have, a compendium for the darkly inclined, believes that modern Goth is facing a similar dilemma, the threat of absorption into the mainstream. The Gothic people converted to Arian Christianity before being overtaken by the Greco-Roman Christians. And when they say Gothic people, they meant Gothick, just to clarify. Even calling their way Gothic Christianity, the Goths saw the Christ not as the world's one and only figure of salvation, but as a warrior, magician, and shaman. Following a number of invasions and forced integrations by the Roman Catholics, Huns, and Muslims, the ancient cultures of the Goths became virtually extinguished. The culture and its ideology survived only as an underground occult movement within persecuted and converted people. Preserving the teachings of the Norse, the Gothic, Thick, language, documented as early as 300 CE, and the adopted symbolism of the runes. The Goths established secret traditions, greatly influencing nobility, but this underground movement largely remained exclusive to the lower classes. Further persecution of the Goths fluctuated over time. Either they had legitimate political power with royalty and were left alone, or they were too underground and unnoticed to be targeted. This impact can be seen even now, considering the number of currently existing surnames that are Gothic, Thick, in origin. Even members of Spanish nobility are called Gatos or Goths today. Though the ancient Gothic, Thick, tribes virtually vanished upon the Muslim invasion in 711 CE, some of their culture survived all the way up to the Renaissance, when its spirit was restored in painting, sculpture, and architecture, becoming the Gothic Renaissance movement. The architectural style of the time differed from the common Greco-Roman idea of proper form, gaining the title Gothic because the art and architecture were unique and quite eerie. Definitely against the grain at the time, the term Gothic was used in a derogatory fashion. At that time, the term was negatively associated with the barbaric, dark, and uncultured. Gothic architecture is characterized by its towering vertical appearance, pointed arches, curved doorways, large spires and columns, ribbed vaults, stained glass, flying buttresses, and of course, gargoyles. European Romanticism was the origin of the literary use of the word Gothic, Gothic, which evoked a particular lugubrious style of literature. Darkly themed stories around that time period began to be associated with the reawakened Gothic movement. The Gothic literary style addressed the mechanisms of fear and sexuality within the human psyche. At the time of the Gothic Renaissance, fear and superstition were stereotyped as being representative of old Gothic, Gothick, belief. Authors over time, if I may jump around in history, who might be said to have had an influence on the resurrection of the Gothic with a K at the end, so Thick, spirit both in the Gothic Renaissance and the later 19th century. Romantic movement include Giordano Bruno, Morris Burman, Horace Walpole, William Shakespeare, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Bram Stoker, Mary Shelley, William Blake, and Oscar Wilde, to name a few. Fucking hands itching for some reason. I don't know why. The back of it, so it's annoying. I was just seeing how many pages this is. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 9 pages left. But anyway, I'm trying to kind of bounce around a little bit here and just do little fragments of each. So I'm not like overwhelming, or at least I'm trying not to be overwhelming. The Goth Bible, Nancy Kilpatrick, sorry. Okay. Goth Bible. Death in Doc Martens. And these are some of the, these are literally the first pictures in the book. So, shows different types of Goths, what different types are considered to be Gothic, different ways of dress, different historical ways of looking at things. You know, it's very interesting, but I will say, let's see, where did I? The Goth Bible, okay. Yeah, Death in Doc Martens. goth with a small g. So, first couple of pages, does a black trench coat a goth make? You know, and different things like that. The dark side of dark. Goths were children too. Dismal by nature. And then it goes into the next called Darklings with Attitude. Old Goths don't die, they just wear less makeup. But the first one is Death in Doc Martens. Why do we love the tragedy and the dreams? My dear, you need only look into your silent existence to find out. Anon, get net goth. So, yeah, I'll save that probably for another time because, like I said, I'm not trying to overwhelm anybody, trying to say too much. I was just trying to make the live stream a little more exciting, different, you know, which I always try to do anyway. Okay, now which one of these? Okay, those are about the same. But since I only read like the first couple of sections of this particular one, just to let you know, if you want to check this book out yourself, the name of the author is, this is the Dark Goth one. This is this has to do with, in a way, Gothic Wicca. It's done by Raven Digitalis. So look up Raven Digitalis, Digitalis, and you should find this. It's called The Magical Side of the Dark Culture. And to me, it's in here somewhere. I forget how far into it. It goes into more specific details about, you know, fairy goths, cyber goths, death rockers, baby dolls. It's interesting. I have discovered through this book alone that I consider myself a rainbow romantagoth, like Victorian, rainbow romantagoth. Ow. I have felt for a long time that there was an era that I lived in a past life where I was definitely Victorian era, the Victorian style housing with a Gothic flair to it, you know, what we modern day witches today would call, oh, that's a witchy house, you know, and it just over time it develops its own titles, various titles, because as witches I believe have a certain understanding of goth. I'm not saying that I'm like a pro at it or anything. I mean, I've only read that book a couple of times, but I do also have another one that's called Wiccan Goth, and it's either this book that says Goth Craft or it's another one, but I know I only had a handful. Now, the Gothic Bible, I read through each one, and the Gothic Bible is one of the few positive, I call it positive things that Naomi encouraged me to get, and I'm glad that I did. One Bible I've always wanted, and I have yet to acquire, is the Witch's Bible. It's by Jim, or is it something, it's a Farrar, Mr. and Mrs. Farrar. I forget their names right offhand, but most of the time I have found that book like on Amazon or something like that. It's usually in the realm of $12 and higher. So there is a thing considered a Wiccan Goth. And I would be a Wiccan Goth because I am definitely you guys all know, those of you that actually truly do know me. And I'm only saying that, I'm talking about friends I've known for years as opposed to ones I've known for a shorter time. Those that go back the furthest with me, like, let's see, what would be a good example? That have been on here the longest with me. Well, I would definitely have to give Chartara a place at the top of the list because, not that it's a bad thing to do that, because she is one of my IMVU friends that I knew her as Sparkle Series on there, and it was Series as in Cerise, Series Clouds, and I just thought it was so pretty. But I have my own style of what I very much consider to be Wiccan Goth. Excuse me. I actually looked up some goth clubs about a year or so ago. Me and Maria were all set up to go to this one. We had a GPS. We had it all ready to go. We had already had it figured out, how much are we going to need to walk in the door? Because, yes, it's one of those clubs you have to pay to get into. Unless you have a true gothic friend that you dress your gothic way and, oh, yeah, this is my friend Janet, or this is my friend Janelle, or, Lady Belpania, which is a magical title for me that is very special and meaningful, and it's a name that I made up using three, two of which were goddess, one was god. The Bell is for Bell has to do with Bell. Pan is Pan. Bell is, I forget like what pantheon, like Belladonna, Bella something or other, but it's called Bell. It's a goddess name, Pan, god name, Ea, E-A, and I strung the three of them together. So I go by Lady Janelle Belpania. Because allowing my subs and stuff to call me Lady Bell, if they want to do that, that's fine, but I just don't want any other bells out there that have used the name as well in a goddess format, and also as a magical spiritual name that says, yes, I am Wiccan, but I'm also Gothic. It's just, my Gothic is, it's a combination of several according to what the Goth Bible describes, and that's where I came up with Victorian, Rainbow, Romantic Goth is what I am. Because I can do my dark colors, I can do my vampiric stuff, black, white, and red, the most common Gothic colors, the whole white face paint and everything, which I've only really done once. And I did something, I put like 3 lines out the sides of my eyes or something, and underneath, and it was just my own attempt at a Gothic kind of look. And I remember when I used to use that as my profile picture on Facebook, Jim hated it. Jim and my mom, they hated it. They both hated it. Sometimes I have trouble determining if I'm actually getting bit by a bed bug, or if I'm getting bit by a flea, or if I'm just dry skin is itching me. But I will try, the next few live streams, because I don't want to commit to doing the whole book and then not fulfill that commitment. So I figure I'll do a chapter. I'll try to do a chapter. I can't promise I'll do one every live stream, but I'll try to do it often enough that not only am I giving you time to absorb mentally, emotionally, and spiritually what I've read so far out of this book, but I want to give your brain a rest, a little bit of a rest, before I go into reading the next couple of pages, to where eventually it gets into, this is how you magically practice gratitude every day. I call one of those items a grateful list, a gratitude list. At the top of the paper, you write, I am grateful for, and then you put ... or you do the little dash that some people do, and then you list. You don't have to do a certain number. If you can only think of 3 things, write down those 3. If you can think of 10 or more, go for it. Some examples that I have used. Typical everyday gratitude and the blessings, the endless blessings that follow when you practice it regularly, like I did for a time before all heck broke loose, and here we are, and I'm a mess now, but I'm trying to get back to getting a lot of my power back that I have unwillfully given away. I've given my heart to people that have hurt me and used me and made me feel like I was just nothing but a naughty toy to them, a bed partner. There was nothing of value to me but what was between my legs. So through so many relationships that I gave myself wholly to this person, it always came down to what ends up breaking us up is something sexual, because either they feel I'm not giving enough or I feel they're asking too much of me in that sense. And I've never been able to come up with like a happy medium there. That's not intentional. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful that my bills were paid this month. I'm grateful that I have gas in my car. I'm grateful that I have friends now that I did not once have. I'm grateful for all that I have. Truly grateful for all that I have now. And I know that that means more blessings are on their way. Just write down, I'm grateful that, I did well on my TikTok today. I sold a lot of stuff. I'm grateful for the people out there that think of me well enough, which I greatly appreciate, and that falls in the bracket of gratitude, buy my stuff. They buy my products. And now I've got 15 followers on TikTok. I'm like, okay, cool. Apparently I'm doing something right. Daggone carpal tunnel. It's always this left hand is like worse, because that's where I have the nerve damage too from the attack I suffered all those years ago. Anyway, but just think about things to be grateful for that a lot of people take for granted every day. I'm grateful I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I, have a good meal in my belly. I'm grateful that the weather is beautiful today. It feels like summer, so I'm going to go out and enjoy it. Like tomorrow, I'm seriously thinking about, because I was toying around with the idea of going to my mom's, and I may still do that, but it's going to be another one of those divide my day a couple different directions. Like I'll have my Janet day for a little bit first, then I'll go over to mom's, spend a couple of hours over there if I still feel up to it by the time I'm done having my Janet day. Like I'm not going to put a time limit on it. I just kind of feel it out as I go. Like, okay, do I really feel like going over to mom's right now, or do I want to take a day off and after I have my Janet day, just go home and, do a live stream about it or something. Say, yeah, I went and did this today. I got this done. That made me feel good. I feel really productive today. But do that grateful list every day if you can, which I know that's easier said than done. I know I did it for a while. I did it consistently. And there are times when I've noticed that things seem to be going on a downward spiral again. So then I'm like, when was the last time I did a grateful list? That's what I call them. Grateful list. Okay, now here's another part to it. Once you write down what you're grateful for, write down a reason why you're grateful for that. And then at the end of it, when you get everything, you're like, okay, I think that's all I can do right now. You go back, you read them. Up here, telepathically, read them with your mind. Do not open your mouth. Just read through the list and check off each one and say, thank you, thank you, thank you after each one, because of the experience and acknowledgement it gained you, the growth it helped you with. It helped you to grow spiritually as a person. It helps you to be so grateful that suddenly you're showered with a bunch of wonderful things all at once because you were grateful today. But keeping up that consistency, yeah, like I said, I still have issues with that myself. I will be the first to admit that I haven't really done a satisfactory job, but I try. Um, but I wanted to kind of read through the few books that I did, but the short passages. Um, because all I can tell you is I speak from experience when I say this series is definitely worth having, because of the happiness they will bring if you will take the time to read them and do what it suggests and learn to practice gratitude every day. Um, I'm thankful that, that woman and her child got blessed with some extra money today so they could get groceries. I'm grateful that that child is now doing better in school because a big sister came along and gave them a reason again, gave them something, someone that truly loved them and would take the time for them, make the time for them, and not just leave them by the wayside when they were done with them, making that person feel like, what did I do wrong? Why did they leave me? Because I had a big sister do that to me. I will only say her first name because I doubt very seriously she will ever see any of these, and I really don't care because she really hurt me and she lied. She broke her most sacred promise to me that when she first became my big sister all those years ago when I really needed one, and I was in my teens at the time, I said, promise me that even when I get older, you and I will still be the best of friends. And she said, oh, absolutely. And then she turned on me. She made me feel like I was not worth her time anymore. For a short time across the very area where I live now, I didn't live here at the time that she had her business, but she had a business across the street from this building that said the Frame Station. She owned it. She was one of those that her company could specialize in making signature frames for like odd shapes and odd heights and odd widths. Like if you wanted one this big, then you tell them what you want. They would do maybe a drawing of it, or they'd be like, oh yeah, how about this? Try this, and it was strictly frames for posters, photos, family fun, whatever you want to, whatever you frame you want, whatever you want to put in the frame. Um, um, Diplomas, like I've got my Stratford Career Institute diploma from the first and only course so far that I actually completed, paid it totally off in the end, and that was astrology parapsychology, and now they have never had that course since. So it's understandable that I want to do something with those skills that I learned, because that course was not cheap. That course was several $100s, but the payments were reasonable enough. I like the idea of the payments, and I like the idea that they send all of your materials to you. So if you just want to go off to the library, which is what I would do most of the time, go off to your own little quiet space where nobody would bother you, and do your readings, read your sections, do your test, send it in. Within a few days, they send you your score back, and as long as you got a 70 or higher, you had a passing grade. And the neatest thing of it all is you get to keep the materials. You get to keep all the books they send you, or whatever the materials are that course comes with. Like the sewing course, if I would have saw it all the way through to its end and paid it off, like I did with the astrology parapsychology course, then I would have sewing skills right now that, because of my yo-yo weight, up and down, up and down, up and down, never stable, and I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and go because we're about to watch one of our shows. We do the Monster Quest at midnight, and it's like, going on 5 till. So, love ya. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all my followers, all my subs. Hopefully I will have something on TikTok soon, but I'm still sorting out how to even use that site, let alone learn to navigate it. So bear with me, y'all. Blessed be, and I will talk to you all next time.